Hello, welcome to the Podcasters Lounge. Happy you're here. We're just here chilling, by the way. So this is a Sunday evening. Oh, you want to see something cool? Oh yeah, this is the Sunday night quarantine live stream. So yeah, so most everyone in the world seems to be home, or staying home as much as possible. But anyway, the Podcasters Lounge. This is a place where podcasters hang out, and also fans of podcasting, right? Can hang out. Anyone remotely related to podcasting can hang out here and hang out here, share your experience, ask questions. So welcome everybody. Just so as you could see on the screen, we have a Facebook group. Jim Collison in the house. Look at this guy. He's in the comments. He's everywhere. So this is the Facebook group. Ed Sullivan. Oh, wow. So if you're not a member of the Facebook group, go ahead and join the Facebook group. Yeah. So we're here just hanging out. It's a Sunday evening. A lot of news going on and a lot of craziness. And I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all staying safe. And mostly, I hope you're all like maintaining your sanity and calmness. I guess calmness is a better word rather than sanity. So Jim Collison, Ed Sullivan, Mike McCallan, dude, we can end the stream right now. That's it. We're done. Mike McCallan, you saw it. It's on the screen. That's it. All right. Well, we're gonna end the stream here. Mike McCallan commented, and that's it. Smoke them if you got them. Yeah. So what are you guys doing? What are you drinking? I'm drinking my water as usual. And I don't know if you guys recognize the little different mic I have today. I'll tell you about that. So welcome. Yeah, see, Ed already asked me. So welcome to the lounge. If you're new here, please say hello in chat and please tell us what your podcast is. And you know what I mean? Tell us what you're working on so we can look at it. Oh, yeah. Daniel, what's up, man? Great stream tonight. Thank you. Well, I hope it's good. Last night we streamed it was my longest live stream ever. It was 3 hours and 5 minutes. Ross Brand was with me. We had a great time. Anyway, haven't checked out the live stream yet. Hey, Brent. Good to have you here. Happy you're all here. Tell me, if you host a podcast, please tell me in the comments. Say, I host a podcast called Ed Sullivan Rules. Okay? Yeah, Ross is a great guy. So we got some stuff to talk about, but I do want to quickly... Well, I have a few announcements, but Daniel's a podcast editor that doesn't currently have a podcast. Oh, yeah. That's cool. I know you actually produce a bunch of podcasts. Facebook user, I keep forgetting I can add the comments on the screen. So Facebook user, welcome. And by the way, if you can give Facebook permission to show your name, that would be great. Or else just tell me who you are. This is Daniel. He's a podcast editor that doesn't currently have a podcast. Yeah, we're just hanging out in the lounge. I don't know. Like, I started watching a movie earlier today. I don't know. Oh, Kelvin West, what's up, man? Yeah, you were here last night, dude. Imagine if we started streaming the lounge every day. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. So, all right. Oh, Brent. Okay, you used to have a show called Digital Dads. It's still up there, I guess, but you pod faded. All right, good. Yep. So one thing is like with everybody sort of staying home, right? As much as possible. I mean, obviously not going out unless you need to. I kind of thought like, I'll get a bunch of work done. But then I looked at the work I have to do and there's actually not much. I'm kind of caught up. And plus I didn't feel like doing work. Like, did that ever happen to you? Like, it's a time when, like, you have time to get work done and, like, you should get work done, but then you just don't feel like getting any work done? That's how I felt today, but luckily I didn't have to get anything done. Jim Collison says, "I'm still trying to get home gadget geeks out for the weekend, trying not to get distracted." All right, well, you're in the home of distractions, the Podcasters Lounge. We're just chilling, and if any of you, yeah, oops, exactly, oops, um, yeah, I think Mike Wilkerson was going to jump on the stream. Anyhow, oh, dude, Ed Sullivan, look at this guy. You can't sneak anything by Ed Sullivan. You can't. I tried. You saw me. He asked what microphone is this like 2 minutes ago, and I didn't answer. And he figured it out. It's an Aventone CV12. I don't know about the Pro. I forget if the Pro's in the name, but whatever. I mean, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's an Aventone CV12. I bought this a long time ago, and I haven't used it much in my lifetime. Well, since I've had it. Yeah, I mean, it's a condenser mic. It's a tube mic. It has an external power supply, which is so cool. So, like, the cable that's plugged in. Well, hold on. Let me take the comment away. Oh, you can't really. Oh, you can see it right here. That looks like an XLR cable plugged in, but it's actually not. It's a multi-pin cable. Like, I don't know how many pins. Probably 10 or 12 or more. Mike McCallan says it's beautiful. I'm just oh, the Pro referred to me. Oh boy. Hey now. So yeah. So we started watching this movie earlier. It's an indie movie. I've been watching a few indie movies. When's the last time you watched a few good indie movies? It's amazing. We watched this one, I think it was called The Farewell. And it was about this woman in China, well, an older woman in China who had cancer, but her family, she was dying of cancer, but her family decided not to tell her. So, like, they went to the hospital and she got tested and they're like, "Oh my God, the cancer is really bad." And they literally didn't tell the woman. She was like, she's an old woman, maybe like 80 or something. And they just said, "Oh, doctor says everything's fine. The cancer went away." And because apparently in Chinese culture or even Eastern culture, because my wife is Indian from India, and she related to that a lot about the family sort of not telling the older person. Hey, Ross Brand is here again. What's up, Ross? Good to see you, man. Mike McCallan has a comment that I'm not actually going to show that one on the screen. Okay, terrific. Oh, and Facebook user agrees with Mike. Oh, really, Kelvin? Really? Well, what about the mic I was using yesterday? Oh, maybe you didn't see the mic I was using yesterday. Yeah, new mic today. We were just talking about that. It's the Aventone CV12. Yeah, trying new mics. Yes, hi, Jim Collison. Yeah, baby. So anyway, the movie was set in China, and I think it's called The Farewell. But so here's my point. It was an indie movie, so it moved pretty slow. Like, it wasn't all edited fast with high energy and stuff. Like, it was like it moved slow. Like, there'd be a scene, like they'd show someone standing there looking, like thinking. They'd show that for like 30 seconds. And part of your mind is like, hello, keep going. But then the other part, it sort of lulls you into that pacing. It's really nice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think we get so conditioned to these, Hollywood blockbusters that, like, there's a lot of good indie movies that are they're works of art, right? I mean, I'm not saying that the Hollywood movies are not works of art. All right, so what's the last movie you saw? Let's go, everyone in chat. What's the last movie you saw? As I drink some of my water, which I was accused of drinking vodka last night, but I wasn't drinking vodka. as far as you know. Uh, yeah, but who drinks vodka out of like a tumbler? No, right? Although I will say, one time when I think it was around 1999 or 2000 when I lived in New Jersey, and I had this friend Jeff Baker, and we used to jam. He used to come over to jam, and like California Podcast Association. Well, we know that's Mike McCowan, I believe, right? Okay, hold on a sec. So 1999, 2000, my friend came over, and like that's when I was just living by myself. I wasn't married, right? I was single, and I don't know if you've ever lived by yourself when you're single. Like, maybe this wouldn't happen to you, but it happened to me quite often. I would literally use every plate, cup, utensil, and everything would be dirty in the sink, right? And so, like, if I needed a cup, I'd have to actually like take out a cup and wash it, right? So I was down, like I literally I was drinking water, and all I had left was the measuring cup. That little clear glass cup you use when you're like cooking and you need to measure, 8 ounces or 4 ounces of something. Anyway, I was just drinking water out of that cup, and my friend Jeff was like, he's like, "Oh, why are you using that cup? Are you monitoring your intake?" I was like, "No, it's just the only clean cup in the house." No, am I the only one? Am I the only one that's ever done that? Need to go get a dirty beer glass? Hey, now, keep it clean. Vodka in tumbler, shaken, not stirred. Yeah, and so what I do, I fill it. Well, first I put like my protein powder in, and then I fill the rest with vodka, and then I just, that would be nasty. Anyway, Daniel said started watching Frozen 2 last night. 2. So, all right, started it. Was it not riveting enough for you to finish, or you just couldn't finish? Because actually, that's my wife and I started watching a movie like late this morning, and we watched half an hour, and the whole movie's 2 hours 15 minutes. So we kind of bailed. I mean, for then, I mean, we might watch it later or maybe tomorrow. Sorry, still trying to figure out why you downgraded from that perfect sounding shotgun mic you were using yesterday. Ross, I'm just trying stuff, man. I actually listened back to that stream on my TV upstairs, and I mean, it sounded okay, but something wasn't right to me. It didn't sound right. Landon's here. What's up, dude? He once drank some Mountain Dew from a flower vase because he didn't have any clean cups. Dude, you win. You win, dude. Drinking Mountain Dew from a flower vase. Daniel says, my wife and I have a routine where we start watching something late at night and split it up over 2 or 3 nights. Yeah. Yep. That's cool. We do that as well sometimes. Yeah. I like doing that, right? It's kind of cool. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Cause what's the rush, right? If you're just sitting at home watching something, it's like, it's not like you're at the movies and you got to sit there for the whole thing. So, yeah. So welcome everybody. If you're new here, welcome to the lounge. We're just chilling. I thought Mike Wilkerson was going to join me. If any of you are just chilling and you want to jump on the stream with me, let me know. All you need is a decent mic. You don't need a whole major setup, but you just need something decent with decent video, whatever. Yeah. So, all right. So what was I had some stuff planned that we could talk about. What was I planning? Oh, the Sunshine Summit started earlier. I don't know if you guys saw that. Hold on a second. I'm looking through. Earbuds? Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, you need earbuds. What is this? Right out of the bottle before flower vase. Yeah. Well, that's true. I mean, he could have drank in the Mountain Dew from a can or something. Right? Yeah, Daniel, you stay up late and then yeah. Come on, dude, pull an all-nighter, man. Dude. Right? Remember those days? Yeah, those days are long gone. I don't know. I was never an all-nighter type person. Were you? I mean, I mean, I had done it like a few times, but like that, even when you're 20 years old, that's rough, dude, right? Staying up all night and then trying to function the next day. Like, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that we're in the double digits. There's 10 people watching the stream. Oh my God, a new plateau. Nope, now 9. Okay, see, we lost as soon as I mentioned it. Yeah, only to cram for tests in college. Really? I couldn't do that, Brent. I because I would literally be useless the next morning. Like if the test was in the morning, oh my God. Just when I was on the dancing circuit. Yeah, Mike McCallan, he's a dancer. Well, he was a dancer, professional. Yeah, right? Too old for the all-nighters. Need to get more ice cream, dude. How about sharing? Couple times on no dose. Oh, I remember no dose, right? Oh God. I think I took them once. I mean, you know. Right? Those are, I don't know, man. All right. So I was looking at like the news that's trending, and there's really nothing trending. I mean, I was watching the live streamer I watch, Mitch Ray. He talks about the stock market and cryptocurrencies, and yeah, like everything is a mess. And apparently right now, like whatever futures trading is already going down even before the market's open for tomorrow. So he thinks when the market opens, it's going to go immediately down 5% and hit that circuit breaker where they actually pause the whole stock market if it goes down too much too fast. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. And then there's some people I saw online saying, like, you know, bringing up the idea that, oh, maybe we're overreacting. It was only a few people. But then, you know what? I haven't heard that really at all. But then someone said, oh, it's just, you know, maybe the mainstream media is dramatizing it, and that's what you're feeling, like the dramatization of it. But the seriousness of it is what it is, man. It's like, because someone was saying, oh, isn't it's just a little worse than the regular flu, so what's the big deal? Why are we, you know, whatever? And it's like, dude, if the S hits the fan too quick, that's tragedy right there. It ain't like the normal flu, right? So, all right. Well, I feel like I've been stood up on a date because Mike Wilkerson said he'd be here, but he has a family and children. So, you know, hello. Kind of more important than a live stream. And I'm not playing any music. So, oh, who was last night was making fun of me because of the music I was playing? Well, whatever. You enjoyed the silence? It may seem like overreacting, but it's more about not overloading the hospital system. Exactly. That's it. And yes, we're paying a price for it. Businesses, like a lot of suffering is going to happen because of all the shutdowns and everything. But, dude, nothing is more important than a live stream. Ross commenting from the handle live stream universe. All right. Ed Sullivan says Governor of Massachusetts shut schools, close restaurants for dine-in, and ban gatherings of over 25 people. Yeah. That's it, man. Shut it down for a couple weeks. So here's one thought I had. Tell me what you guys think of this. And by the way, this is the lounge. Like, I feel like I'm on a monologue, which I understand. I'm actually the only one on the screen talking, so I'm not afraid to talk. But like, I mean, this is your lounge as much as it's my lounge. I know I want you guys to feel that way. So if you have anything you want to talk about or whatever, link to whatever, let's talk about it. But my wife and I were talking because her and I have studied or practiced meditation for many years and studied spirituality, and, you know, have been on many gatherings and retreats, spiritual retreats, and, you know, silent retreats. And we've done a lot of that over the past, whatever, 17 years. And one good thing about everyone stopping and slowing down is that, like, it sort of makes you introspect a little bit, at least a little bit. But you can use opportunities like these to really introspect a lot, right? To sort of revisit your whole life, or just, you know what I mean? Like, just think about things and maybe think about planning things, and, and also having the realizations that, the physical life we lead every day, the posh Western society we live in. I mean, look, it's been taken down by this little virus. So what's left? And the answer is you, your heart, your soul, whatever that is, right? Whatever all that is. So coming back to that is always a good thing, right? So welcome everyone to the Podcasters Lounge. Definitely say hi in the chat. And if you have a podcast, tell us what your podcast is. And the California Podcast Association, look at you guys with your marketing. I love this. See, Ross Brand, look, live stream universe. Nothing is more important than a live stream. We're going to quote you on that, Ross, by the way. And then, of course, Mike McCowan, California Podcast Association. Can you get some letters in there so it spells out chips? And then you could sit on a motorcycle with the helmet and have a partner. Hey, Jamie Ritchie, what's up? Good to see you again. Hope you guys are still doing well. And, oh, by the way, do I like the No Agenda podcast? I've only heard it a couple times. I mean, it sounded kind of cool. I think they try to do like a little more fast-paced, energetic stuff and stories and whatever. So yeah, I mean, sounded pretty cool. I didn't stick with it or anything. But I did hear Adam Curry on his recent appearance on Joe Rogan's podcast, which was really cool. See, and he's been in radio and all this for so long, monitoring at loud levels, and now look, he's got hearing problems. So this is one of the things I got from that interview, because they actually talked about like what kind of hearing aids he's using and stuff. Apparently the technology of hearing aids has come a long way, but dude, don't listen to audio too loud for long periods of time. Don't do it. It takes its toll over the years. Just don't do it. Monitor at nice, low, normal volumes, man. Save your ears for the rest of your life. I mean, we got a while to live, most of us. Jim says, how do you get in the lounge? Oh, Jim's going to join me. This is sick. This is unbelievable. All right, I gotta paste this link in here. Oh, here it is. You guys know Jim Collison, right? Well, you're going to get to know him whether you like it or not. All right. Does it work? Does it help gain a good audience when you yell at people? I mean, because okay, there we go, Jim. So there you go. All right. Now I got to get back to, yeah. Oh, podcast. What? Bandrew's here. Oh my gosh. Is that the Aventone C12? It is. And I've had this I literally forgot when I bought it. It was at least, I think it was 2012 when I first opened my studio in Jersey. It was either 2012 or 2013. I've never used it on a podcast episode, by the way. And I've rarely used it. I don't know. It's like a beast of a mic, and I'm like, when do I use it? But now with all this live streaming stuff, I want to try it. Joe Taylor, what's up, Joe? Welcome to the lounge. By the way, if you ever have to say the lounge, you have to say it like Arnold Schwarzenegger. The lounge. Get to the chopper. Okay. What do you think I'll miss about Adobe Audition if I move to Reaper? I don't know, because I don't use Audition. But Banjo says that mic gets a lot of love. How do you like it? I like it. I've never tried it in like an actual studio setting. So it's been hard for me to tell how good it is, but it is, I mean, it's clearly a really good mic. All right. Enough about all that nonsense talk. Now we actually have someone real on the stream with us. Jim Collison, everybody.
What up?
Whoa, I can't hear you.
Bring me in.
No. I literally didn't have my headphones turned up this entire time. What's up, Jim?
No worries. Sorry, man.
I'm good.
Good to see you.
Oh, dude, you got a beer. Oh, all right.
You got me thirsty. Hold
on. I'm going to put you full screen. Yeah. All right. Let's just all sit around and watch Jim Collison drink a beer.
Little Blue Moon right out of the can.
Oh boy.
Yeah. It was that or a Bud Light. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to go with, but it's either orange juice or water, one of the two.
Right. So you're home with the family?
Yeah. And actually my wife's kind of sick, so I'm kind of worried. You're just talking like, I don't think she has it because she's been struggling with it for a couple of weeks, but the thought of going into a hospital right now is like, I had an appointment on Friday to get some blood drawn, and I didn't go to the ER side of the house, but the hospital side was just a ghost town. Like it was
really like
there was just nobody. It was weird. It was eerie. There were like two people sitting, big room, like two people out there, and I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. And then so I took my daughter back to school. Was coming in and coming back from it, and she's like, "Hey, can you get a thermometer?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem. I'll just swing by Walgreens." No, like thermometers sold out. So Chris, sold out. Like went to Walgreens, clear. Went to CVS, clear. Walmart, clear. Like I went to Walmart the other day. They're out of cough medicine. Like you can't, like the NyQuil, the all that stuff gone, just gone. Like, and not
that's
like
crazy.
We have a lot of people. We know we don't even have a lot of people sick yet, and those aisles are just cleared out. So not only is the toilet paper and the paper towels and the cleaning things and the bread. Now, you know what's in plenty of supply?
What?
Beer.
Oh, geez.
Nobody fighting in the beer aisles. So I loaded up because I thought it's like a loaf of bread, right? This is like a loaf of bread.
It is.
So if I'm going to go hungry,
most people would put it in the sustenance category. Beer.
Yeah,
right.
I think it's probably even would kill some germs and some stuff, right?
I mean, calories. You know what I'm saying?
If you're in a pinch and the stores are sold out, I mean, you can't make a milk sandwich out of it, but you could definitely, I mean, it'd replace a meal, don't you think? Could you survive on okay, it's the evening, you had lunch, but you don't have enough food for dinner, and the bread aisle's cleared out at Walmart. Can you do a beer?
Yeah, I think you can. The California Podcast Association wants to know where you are, Jim.
Right here. I'm right here.
Yeah, he's right on the screen, Mike. Okay, that's Mike McCallan.
I think that was late. Yeah, I think it was late. But so I'm just kind of wondering in this world, this pandemic world, when we can't go to restaurants anymore, because I was kind of banking on that. I was actually thinking that go ahead, say it.
Oh yeah, I'd never seen a video of Jim without Dave Jackson next to him. Hardly recognize him.
It's usually Dave's on this side usually,
right?
When we do this. Yeah, it's weird because I kind of banking on Panera being open. Like that was going to be I was going to order on the app or Cane. Are they going to close the restaurants? Is that what's going to happen?
Right. Yeah.
They're going to close them all. What do you think? Are we going to go nationwide closing of? I think Ed said in Massachusetts, right? They closed restaurants. Is that right?
Yeah. It's happening. In like restaurants and what else? Yeah. It's crazy. But by the way, if anybody, if we really need to have this here.
Well, you need it over you. You got to see me and then. Well, whatever.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I can do that. But anyway, Dave Jackson, his ears are prickling up.
I did a podcast with Dave on my show on Home Gadget Geeks. I don't know, about 2 or 3 months ago. And we talked about how at home, like we didn't know at the time, nobody knew this was going to happen. But we talked about, where at home workers need to act more like podcasters in the sense that they need to have good audio, good video. Like you gotta, your meetings have to be more like a podcast, like what we're doing here, as opposed to, you've been in those corporate meetings where it's just like, oh my God, what are we doing here? Why are we even talking? And so we didn't know that in going into this. And so, I think there's some remote workers who need to step up there. They're going to need to step up their audio game, because it's like,
yes.
what? What did you say?
Or like no one mutes themselves and there's like all this noise. Gordon Firemark is here, everyone. That's it. No. Can we just, after I say that, can we just pause for a second for Gordon Firemark? Thank you. All right. Anyway, he's seeing restaurants close their dining rooms. And Bandrew says, did you see how Rode was helping out schools in New South Wales with podcasting gear for at-home teachers? Yeah, that is cool.
There you go. Teachers like podcasters. That's what they need to do. That's how we teach people, right?
Yeah, and if Blue happens to step up and no, donate some Blue Yetis, then everyone will talk into the wrong end. It'd be
There's
great.
Plenty of them at Best Buy. There's like 15 or 20 the last time I was over there, just sitting on the shelf.
David Hooper is going absolutely crazy making fun of the Blue Yeti. I gotta bring this up.
All right, bring it in. Bring it in.
Ed
did say they're still allowing deliveries. So takeout and delivery. So you go through the drive-through. I guess I'm going to have to do Cane's drive-through for the next 2 or 3 weeks. I do HelloFresh as well, and they ship the box. So we're going to have at least 4 nights of meals via HelloFresh. So I think we're in pretty good shape. I wonder how many people, by the way, I have free, if you want to try a week free, I've got, just contact me and I give you a whole box for free.
Oh, wait, a box of what? I missed that.
HelloFresh.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they deliver meals. Like, they got to be going nuts right now. Don't you think? Don't you think?
Yes.
Like, everybody's like, oh my God, they deliver boxes of food to your house literally every week.
Yeah. They must be just getting swamped. And I also was thinking of Amazon, because we've gotten like 5 Amazon deliveries over the past week. Think about those drivers. They must be going absolutely crazy. And Gordon says, do I have a sound effect? I don't have any of my effects up, Gordon. What did you want to hear? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No Barry.
Yeah. No Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There was something about a horse, wasn't it?
Yeah. You're going to need a couple of horses or a couple of mules. And then, of course, because it's the beauty of Barry. It's like playing Barry clips is almost like Jeopardy. You have to actually think of a good question for the answer. In fact, It is Jeopardy.
That's right. It's very white Jeopardy.
Deliver boxes of dude. All right. So, all right, here's what I want to show you. Look at this. David Hooper, his Instagram for Big Podcast. Look at this guy's going nuts with the Blue Yetis. Look on the top left here. Look at this. Wait, can I click on it? Yeah, look at this picture. I mean, dude. And then look at this one. All the different types of Yetis: interracial, mature, hairy, amateur, bondage.
That shouldn't be true.
Dude, this guy, he's going crazy. Yeah, there's a great one, right? Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
COVID-19, protect your Blue Yeti. Oh, my God. Dude, look at this. Limited edition Yeti Midnight Black.
Wow. What causes all this?
Yeti rocket. I don't know. He just hey, look, this is that's my Blue Yeti.
Looking mic. It's a beautiful looking mic.
Right? Oh God. Gordon. Out of TP. Use a Yeti instead. Oh man.
Oh.
Don't tell Jason DeFilippo. He might actually make a video showing that.
Can you rinse it when you're done? Is that
what kind of filter do you use in that use case?
Don't take off your pop filter.
Windscreen.
That could be dangerous. Holy cow.
Unplug the cable first. Those are super clever. Yeah, right. They are. David Hooper's. He's a clever dude. He's a great dude.
Wow.
But
it's almost unfair to the Yeti. I mean, yikes.
Yes. So yes, my Blue Yeti cup. This was a gift.
Mm-hmm. I have the silver one. That's about that big.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Brian Ensminger gave this to me. Okay, from Top Tier Audio. Okay. Oh wait, I'm talking.
Check.
Yeah.
Check.
So I still haven't used it. I did wash it. Haven't filled it with any liquids yet.
You're washing dishes these days? Is that what I heard?
Not really.
Okay. Now we got that straight.
So Jamie, So Jamie, how's life with you? And I think I'm going to make a statement here that 3 people here live in the same state. No, you don't. Maybe 2. Because I forgot where you are, Jim, but I don't think you're where I think you're from.
Nebraska.
Omaha, Nebraska. Oh, that's right. Yeah. I was thinking of another state. But anyway.
Ohio, maybe, or some people get that mixed up. They think Omaha, Ohio.
Right? Yeah.
They both start with O. They both have H's.
Yeah. Gordon, I don't have a sound effect. So, yeah, we're just chilling in the lounge. So you've been getting any work done, Jim, or you've been chilling this weekend or running around a lot?
It was wife's birthday party yesterday, so I cooked for it. We did pork shoulder, so I smoked a pork soldier, not a pork soldier, but a pork shoulder. I did that for about 8 hours. Chris, it was so good. Are you pulled pork kind of guy? Do you like? Maybe I shouldn't ask that question. So
actually, I don't eat any meat for many years, but it's all good.
You're a veggie guy.
Veggie, not vegan, just vegetarian.
Okay. All right. No, fair enough. So we smoked some pork and we did some coleslaw. You would have got into the coleslaw probably then.
Oh, right? All over.
Tear up some slaw.
All over. In fact, every time I use my Blue Yeti, the first thing I do is I cover it. I just put coleslaw
just all in the Yeti. It's like a mixer. You can just you can put it in there and just
takes off a little of the high end. It's really nice. Really
Isn't
good.
there an attachment for the KitchenAid? For the Yeti, like the Yeti goes on the bottom of the KitchenAid and then goes around like that. I'm pretty sure
this is like a record-breaking stream here. We're literally in the double digits of people watching. I mean, this is, dude.
Yeah. We're all isolated. Like, nobody can go anywhere.
All right, without school, it's time to start a podcast and record some episodes. Oh yeah. I am mostly vegan, but do lots of smoking.
Yeah. That's there's
smoking
calories in that.
Wait, but smoking cigarettes or
in California
or smoking meat?
I think it's the wacky kind.
Yeah, the 420.
Yeah. Can we say that? We can say that on YouTube. Can we? Can you say
yeah, baby. You can say weed. You can say anything you want. You could say marijuana.
Hey, I had heard whoa, that just came out. So I'd heard on Saturday morning. During Ask the Podcast Coach, Bangs, Naughty Bits. I don't know if you know Bangs. He said that YouTube is actually suppressing streams that are saying, COVID-19. Is it COVID? Yeah, COVID-19. If you say that, or if you say coronavirus, they're listening to that and they're suppressing those streams. That's what he said. That's what he told me. What do you think?
I don't like that.
They got the fancy tools to do it, right? They could be listening, right? And they
play all the funny games, dude. No doubt about it. There's a streamer I really like. His name's Mitch Ray. I mentioned before. He talks about crypto and the stock markets.
Yeah.
This guy is awesome, and yet he literally he's not growing on YouTube because they're somehow throttling him down. It's really sad, man.
Yeah,
poor guy streams every day, sometimes twice a day.
Right,
and he gets a lot of donations.
They're pushing him down.
He's been at like 22,000 subs for like 6 or 8 months.
Just blocked him, huh?
Yeah, like it doesn't make sense
anymore. Yeah. Well, it was interesting. So because I don't know why. I guess there were some folks coming out that were trying to take advantage of this virus and were talking about it on YouTube and being nefarious. Right. So YouTube just penalized everybody for talking about it.
See, Bandrew says YouTube was doing that. They released a statement saying that they will no longer demonetize it and suppress videos, but this may only be for verified news sources. Oh boy. Yep. Well, whatever. And of course, Bandrew joining from Twitch.
So do we need to come up with a new name for it? Is that the thing? We call it the vid or do you play the game? Do you say something different, a different code word so you don't get demonetized? Are you monetized?
No. Oh my God, no. It's hard to monetize 3 3 people in
3
basements
subs.
across America. No, but my brother told me that my dad said that he was hoping to find a, like, if he got corona, then he could find a girlfriend who has Lyme disease, so then it could be corona with Lyme. Oh, geez. Sorry
That's
about
a good
that.
one. That's a good one.
So stupid.
Three times now I've been in the store and I have walked by Corona and I thought I got to get a 6-pack of this. Like you have to have. How cool would it have been tonight if I could have went like, instead of Blue Moon, I went boom Corona.
Right? Hey, it might be the safest liquid to drink, because what are the odds of,
Pretty sure it's antiseptic. I'm pretty sure it's just wiping out any. And cigars too. You a cigar guy, Chris? You do cigars at all?
No.
God, what fun do you have?
I meditate. I live stream.
Oh.
I have.
No, it doesn't count. Doesn't count. Okay.
I have a nice air plant that I got from a client, which I love.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
Nice. There's 3 in there for feng shui, so it's definitely feng shui.
I don't know, but it is nice. It's there.
Weed?
You saw it's like an old piece of driftwood. They have it.
Yeah. It's
Chris
not weed.
it's
not weed, right?
No, it's not weed.
Okay. Good.
No, not right now. Anyway.
All right. I mean, we just were talking about that. So,
hey, now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else do I do? That's a good question. And Gordon, I saw your comment. We will get to that article because we do want to talk about that.
Okay.
But no, what else? Well, we walk, we hike. Well, we live in Colorado Springs, so there's the mountains. We always hike.
Oh, you're in the Springs.
Yeah, in Springs.
Okay. I'll have to visit you. My mom lives there, so. I mean, I won't just show up. I won't show up unannounced or anything like that. I watched a YouTuber who's building a house on YouTube, right? And he's got all these followers. That's right, DIY stuff on YouTube, right? So he's building this house on YouTube. And one day there's this like 5-minute video that shows up in his feed. I subscribed to it. And I was like, this is it. He's like, don't ever do this. That was the title of the YouTube. Like, don't ever do this ever.
Oh.
So he comes on and he's like, hey guys, I was out here working on the house and some dude just rolls up to the property. And I was like, hey man, I'm one of your YouTube followers. And he's like, get off my property.
Whoa.
Like, yeah. And then proceeds to just lose his mind on YouTube, like to his followers, to his subscribers, lose his mind. Don't ever come to my property. I don't do this so you can come just roll up like unannounced. Don't come here. I've got things. Like, don't.
Yeah.
It's like, geez, dude. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, you're popular and you figured out. I mean, it's sorry that you fly drone footage all the time and one of your followers has figured out where you live, and then he rolls up unannounced. Yo, dude, here I am. Yeah. How would you respond? How would you respond if some just random YouTuber knocks on the front door? What would you do?
I'd be a little freaked out. I would trust my gut feeling about them, because I don't think a move like that is per se like bad or creepy, like per se, but it probably would be, but maybe, I don't know. Like, I mean, here's the thing. I was visiting, this is different, but when I visited Hawaii a few years ago, I actually messaged Todd Cochran and I'm like, dude, let's meet up, because he lives there. So we did, but we knew each other for years before that.
Yeah. It'd be different. It's like if I notified you in advance and I was like, hey, I'm coming. But like if I'm just a stranger, like I watch you on YouTube and I just roll up on your property, like, what up, bro?
Yeah. Bandrew, can you respond? How would you respond, Bandrew? I know, because he right now he's probably literally sweating, Bandrew, where he is. Because he's yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, he might be the most famous out of us all with the biggest audience,
but for sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. This guy's a DIY guy who's building sheds and water harvesting things. Right. And dude just rolls up and he probably has 90 or 100,000 subs. So, I mean, he's a pretty big deal, but
yeah. All right, Gordon. Gordon, where was your article in Pod News? If you're still here, you said it was today, so this is today's, I think, or no, not today's. Spotify, that's not it. This one, no, bigger. That's not it. Classifieds, no, that's not it. COVID-19. Yeah, Gordon, can you give us a link or something? Events. All right. Anyway,
or at least the title.
Yeah. Hello, Rothamar. Welcome to the stream on Twitch. You're joining on Twitch. Oh, you sent the link. Okay. You sent the link. I don't see the link. Oh, yeah, you guys are. Oh, this is good. Yeah, just you guys want to see all my passwords too here? You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say, Chris,
you want my routing number and the account
what's your IP? Hey, what's your IP?
Right.
What are you wearing?
I know you guys want to look
Chris?
at this a little more anyway. Okay. Okay, there you go. This is the most classic one right here. 50% off. People are like, I'm gonna get a dozen.
I thought at first that was going to be the toilet paper aisle. That because they're clear. I mean, it's like they're going to start doing lotteries for toilet paper and stuff, man. Like, hey, come in, take a number. If your number starts with a 7, you get to,
Oh my God.
I'm serious, dude. It's
odd and even license plate.
So tonight I'm trying to find this thermometer for my wife. And so we go into CVS and there's a gal Gordon, in line.
Sorry, hold on a second. Gordon, send it to me in a direct message because I can't click on it here, actually. Yeah.
So there's a gal in line, and she's got 3 big bundles of toilet paper in her arms. And so I walked in, my daughter was right behind me, and we both just totally judged her right there. Like you could see it in our eyes. We're just like, and so as we walked to the back, so Sammy was like, that girl totally saw us. She was looking right at us. I kind of felt bad for a second, and then I kind of didn't. I was like, hey, people, just buy what you need. Well, I was going to get chicken noodle soup because my wife's not feeling well. So I thought, okay, a can of Progresso chicken noodle soup. Didn't think it was going to be an issue. Right now, it's an issue. Like you can't find a chicken noodle soup. You can't find it. It was sold out in my supermarket. Like,
wow.
Be freaking like, okay, don't hoard. Just buy what you need. It'll be fine. We're going to be through this in about 2 weeks. We're all, Chris, how stupid people are going to feel in about 2 weeks. They're just going to be like, I sold everything I had in the stock market, and then it went back up, buy it back in at half the price that I sold it at, right? People are going to make that decision, right?
Right.
Like, I got 1,000 pounds of toilet paper that I don't know what to do with.
Right. Yeah, I think 2 weeks might be. I think it's going to be longer than that because someone said this whole thing is going to peak around June 1st.
Yeah, so, but like I don't think the things they're buying are the things that are going to necessarily help them. Even if we are sick, it's just kind of stupid. Like what they're buying is dumb.
Okay, so this is Gordon's article. Opinion: podcast hosts should not be forced to remove fake COVID-19 information. I mean, just from a really high level, I mean, that makes total sense because it's still a free country. You can say whatever you want to say, right?
You can't shout fire in a crowd.
Right. Okay. So then the point he's making here is this is not Gordon saying this is not like yelling fire in a crowded theater.
Yeah, that's a good opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I agree with it. I'm just trying to make sense of what I'm seeing here. All right. What do you guys think in the chat? Should a podcast host be forced to remove?
No. But it's such a touchy time, right? Because there are people who are inciting panic. That's the crowded movie theater rule, right? Is you can't create panic. And are these people who are on YouTube, think of Jim Baker, right? Who's who's selling fake cures for this. Should that be allowed to go on? Should people
There's
be
people
allowed
selling fake cures? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh
Jim
my
Baker.
God.
Jim Baker, the televangelist, right? He's
Really?
Yes. Yeah, he had a guy on. He's like, yeah, if you just, you send us $50, well, or whatever it was. I don't know what it was. I saw that on the news twice, 2 or 3 times. Like, it's come up a bunch of times. So, should they be allowed to do, that, and with the panic, should they be allowed to incite panic? I mean, this is just what we're talking about. Like, go to a store right now. I mean, okay, it's not quite panic yet. Like, it's still orderly and they're just out of stuff and nobody's fighting and we haven't had people gunned down in parking lots yet. So it's probably not true panic, but should they be allowed to do that?
Yeah. I mean, but like Gordon says right on the screen, who decides what is misinformation? But this also, remember, the other thing is that certain people who were selling hand sanitizer on Amazon at these ridiculous prices.
Yeah.
I think Amazon was coming down on them.
They were,
which I agree with that, right? You shouldn't be able to do that.
But so how much is too much?
Well, that's the thing. I agree. It's weird and gray, and I don't know. That's why Gordon's here, because he's the lawyer, and we can just tell him to
pure capitalist. A pure capitalist would say the market would figure that out, right? People would just go, no, like, no, you can't.
Right.
No, I'm not paying $100 for a 5-ounce thing of hand sanitizer.
Right, but if people think they're really in danger and, oh my God, I need this.
Well, this is back to the inciting panic. Like, has someone incited panic into them that they're willing to pay $100 for hand sanitizer?
Right.
And our podcaster is responsible for that. Chris, is there something we should talk about?
No, I'm okay. But is that what one funny thing me and my wife were talking about though, is like, ever since I came back from Podfest, like, I could have it, right? Because it's only been like 7 days or 8 days. Like,
True. Yeah.
I mean, I could have it.
Yeah.
So
since we've done very little testing here in the United States.
Yeah, I haven't been tested, possible. So who knows? Yeah. You might. Well, if I die, you'll probably never hear anything because who cares? But like a year and a half from now, you're going to be like, remember? Wait, Chris Curran, whatever happened to Chris?
I just talked to him the other night. Where'd he go?
Right?
What happened?
Okay,
to him,
so
Dave
wait.
Jackson?
So Gordon says, so should Libsyn and Blueberry have to search and filter the content of their podcasters' posts? Oh yeah, great question.
Yeah,
clearly that's probably not even possible, right? Even if they wanted to. Daniel says that's a tough question. Misinformation can lead to people dying, but as we as a country have a hard time deciding what's true. Right. So Gordon says, right, Amazon has the right to do so, but can government require it? Good question.
Do they have the right to do so? I mean, what about that case in San Francisco or Seattle, wherever it was, where that gay couple wanted a cake and they said, no, we're not gonna serve you. And then I think it landed at the court said you can't do that.
The business had to serve them.
The business has to serve them. So does the business have to serve, like in this case, does the business have to serve like regardless?
Right, but now they have a garage full of product they can't move, and there are people who need it but can't get it. Right,
totally. I am totally.
We care.
I am totally for that. Like it's pretty crazy, especially in the cases of medical, medical things. Like you can't find a face mask anywhere.
Right. That by the way, that's one thing that has bothered me ever since I thought of it like a week ago. I'm like, here you have the biggest. The wealthiest economy in the world, the United States.
Yeah.
And yet, and everyone knows that a pandemic like this could happen at any time. Everyone knows that. And still, nobody said, you know what? Maybe we should stockpile enough freaking face masks. Dude, bad job. Yeah. And whatever. But okay. It's a weird time. I'm not going to kill anybody over whatever.
Yeah. So how long, I said 2 weeks, but you seem to not agree with me on that. What's your thought?
Oh, so by the way, hi, Bonnie Frank. Private business doesn't have to serve anyone they don't want to, although it's not very good for business. Right. But what Jim was saying is the government may have, or the court may have decided the opposite, Bonnie. But anyway, we don't know for sure, and it's okay. But I mean, at heart, I agree with you, Bonnie. Right? So okay, so 2 week. No, the 2 week thing. I don't know anything more than anybody. All I know is that apparently this is like the doctor or the scientist who was on Joe Rogan. He said this is not going to be done in 2 weeks. This is going to take 3, 4, 6 months. So
no, I know. But so that's the curve, right? We're talking about the curve, right? We're trying to flatten the curve, right?
Yes.
And once we start flattening the curve and slow some things down, I think things are going to kind of return. People will realize, okay, we're all going to get sick from this, or at least the amount of population that normally gets sick from the flu. Like everybody doesn't get the flu every single year. So
okay, bye, Gordon.
Right? But,
thanks, brother.
But as soon as we start to see the flattening of the curve, okay, like we're doing our thing, and then people start to calm down. People start to calm down and go, it's going to be okay. Like, this is a crazy thing. People are acting like they're going to get sick and they're hoarding the medicine when really all this prevention we're trying to do is to keep people from, as many people all at the same time, from getting sick. So the hoarding mentality isn't really justified, right? Because we're trying to slow that down. So anyways, it's crazy times. I just think in a couple weeks we're going to get some word that the numbers, like, it's having an effect. Yeah, hospitals are fine. We're handling this. It's being handled. Right. Then the markets return to normal and people return to normal. And that doesn't mean we shouldn't probably stop for the summer of hey, let's slow down on just hanging, shaking hands or licking on people or whatever. But so I don't know.
I agree with everything you said. I agree with that. Yeah. That makes sense to me.
Hey, let me ask you this question, because I think since we're in the podcasters lounge, it's more appropriate. So as podcasters, what can we do in this? Let's just say it's 8 weeks. Like let's just say the term, the real the intensity is for the next 8 weeks, the next 2 months. What do you think we could do to make it better?
Hold on, I got to turn off my notifications.
Yeah, you are getting crushed, dude.
Mike Wilkerson is blowing me up, and he's an hour late. Anyway, what can we do as podcasters?
As podcasters, yeah. Like what can we do? What should we do? What are some new opportunities that we have? And that doesn't mean we need to turn every podcast into a virus podcast. But what could we do?
Right. Well, Bandrew brings up a good point. I think you need to be a distraction from the virus, right? So we should keep producing our content, right? Like I know a lot of people in their podcasts, like this week or maybe next week, they're going to put out a whole episode on coronavirus. And like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not even going to mention you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go for that. I'm just going to present my content the way I present it. That's one thing we can do, is keep going. I don't know what else we could do. I mean, trying to band together to help people who don't have supplies or something. Like, that banding together thing is that really never works, because people care, but they don't care that much,
right?
And what do you think, Jim?
Well, I didn't ask that with an agenda in mind. I think it's just been Dave and I kind of alluded to it on Saturday morning a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I think, we were, so my church we did completely virtual this morning, right? Like a lot of folks have done, Major League Baseball, NFL, the NCAA, they just canceled, they just we're done. They didn't, no options. We are done. And I started thinking, okay, could there have been other things? Like, here's a situation for the NBA or the NFL or Major League Baseball to kind of think through, okay, what are some alternatives to this? If we have to go 100% virtual, how could we still continue to provide entertainment for people and not just freaking cancel the season? Like the NCAA, they just canceled everything. They were like, I mean, if you want to incite panic, take people's March Madness away from them and give them no sense of hope. No, it's not coming back. We're done. In fact, it's canceled next year too. And you're like, whoa.
Right.
and so as I was talking with some of our church staff, I was like, guys, there may be an opportunity over the next 4 to 6 to 8 weeks to do some things differently. We're always trying to get people to get on our app. Like,
Right.
hey, download the church app and use it. Like, nobody does.
Right.
Like, our numbers show very little usage in that thing.
Mhm.
Well, hey, now we have an opportunity it's like, hey, the app is where things are at right now. And if you want to stay
Right.
connected to things, if you're going to be home, if you've got kids, we got kids programs in there. And so I'm kind of just wondering, and by the way, I don't think it's a great idea. Just because folks are working from home doesn't mean they're going to be on you. They should be on YouTube watching your live stream. I'm a big live streamer, but that doesn't mean during the middle of the day we should all be live streaming. I don't think that's necessarily helpful, right? Maybe it is.
Yeah, well, I was going to say
kind of thought I'm thinking.
Right, because Daniel and now Heather saying that live streaming is awesome. So that's one thing podcasters could do. By the way, Heather Welch, who you see on the screen, she just started her Sunshine Summit today. So if y'all don't know about the Sunshine Summit, just Google it and check it out. It's a bunch of live streams. Heather is based in New Zealand, and it's all about friends and connectivity and good vibes. And I know I'm not describing it well, Heather, I'm sorry, but it's just awesome. And she started it today, and I watched the first session. So great job, Heather, today. Facebook user, you must be Jason Bryant. He's talking about college wrestling
for sure.
You had to announce the D3 wrestling tournament was canceled.
He had to
you had to announce it.
Do it.
Oh boy,
that sucks. Yeah, I'm not sure. Listen, it's the right thing to do, but do we have things, where we can provide new value as podcasters to our audience? And so maybe we don't need to do a a COVID-19. By the way, if you sing that as "Come on, Eileen," that works out. It works out pretty well.
Oh, jeez.
Get that one out of your head.
Oh, thanks.
So, just saying. But maybe there's some opportunities for us to do some things or ask our audience, like, hey, how can we help you? What kind of things can we make for you? What would be helpful during this time? Certainly, as people are at home and feeling isolated, can we amp up our feeling of community? Just not by creating more podcasts, but can we, like you're doing right now, can we amp up our community game by saying, hey, let's connect. Let's figure out more significant ways to connect.
Yes, I agree. I think the Podcasters Lounge should grow exponentially. And I think the hundreds of thousands of viewers and supporters should donate to me so I can get rich, because I want to be rich. Okay. This is what we can do with our time, people.
All right.
By the way, Bonnie,
not where I was hoping you'd go, but okay.
Well, I don't know. So Bonnie Frank built her entire business through live streaming. Wow. Wow, that's cool. How'd you do that? I wonder. Heather says, thanks, Chris. And Jamie says, just call it the virus, kind of like saying he who must not be named.
Yeah. The illness that shall not be named.
Yeah. As a paid subscriber to the Podcasters Lounge, yes, you do get a commemorative bottle of hand sanitizer.
Oh.
They're on back order, but please still donate.
Wow.
Of course, we don't even accept donations yet, but
yeah. Can you have Patreon?
No, but I just, for my podcast engineering school, I just set up a bunch of ways for people to donate. I don't do Patreon because I don't like them. I don't like the political garbage they got into, but whatever. It's whatever. But anyway, but people can send me Bitcoin and Ethereum though. All right. Just
you wouldn't want it right now.
Yeah. Actually, no, I do want it now because it's going to go back up. People are dumping it.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, that's true. No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
People are like, oh, I'll donate. I'll give you my Ethereum, and roll their eyes.
Yeah, and then make sure you set a dollar amount, because that you don't want to. You want to say, don't give me one Bitcoin. Oh, that'd be pretty good. But because if it follows, but so like the U.S. markets are off 30%, something like that, and the Bitcoin market's off full 50%. So it's you're right. You're good. Darn it!
Good
Once again, Chris, you are right.
Good time to invest, though. If you're ever thinking about just
cash,
maybe I could buy some Bitcoin. Hey, it's a good time now. Wow. I agree. One person who shall remain nameless who is probably going to do that. So
Yeah, I think it's a good call. You think we're at the bottom? I know
I
you're
don't.
not giving financial advice, and I know you're not a
Yeah.
financial advisor, and this is not how you're supposed to invest. Okay, so let's start with
Thank
that
you.
conversation. Okay.
Yeah, what he said, and then the guy that I watch, Mitch Ray, he says, yeah, no, the way he's talking about everything is that everything's going to keep going down,
Okay.
at least for a little while. Yeah,
So hold off.
yeah, and that's why I am waiting to
Not
to buy
financial
a little
advice,
bit.
but you're waiting.
Yeah, personally, I'm
You
waiting
personally are waiting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
because
The long-term strategy is this is just going to be a blip. Like, okay,
yeah.
I've been through 3 of these. So 87, I was in at that point. Then 2000, or in that time, right? The dot-com bubble when it burst and we lost tons. And then so that was 9/11, same time. And then 2008. All 3 of them. Guess what? My money went right back to where it was, and it gained more. And so the long-term strategy is just don't do anything irrational.
Yeah.
Stay the course. In fact, if you can up your monthly giving, to or savings that you're doing, that would be a good thing to do at this time. Doesn't take much, just a little bit more that you can. That's maybe it's your blow money or whatever, but get that in there, and not this kind of blow, but the blow kind of like I'm like beer and cigars, that kind of blow.
Mike McCowan just turned his head quick. Sorry, Mike. Well, he's in San Francisco. That's why. That's the only reason I said
right
that.
on.
I'm in Bitcoin for the long term. Like me and my wife discussed it, and we're like, we bought some, we might buy a little more, but dude, I'm hanging on to it for 15, 20 years. That like, I'm not trying to day trade or buy and sell and make money. No, it's just a long-term investment, because when you look at the logarithmic chart of Bitcoin, I mean, in 15, 20 years, the logarithmic chart goes up to $1 million for one Bitcoin. So think about that.
Yeah. Good.
What if you bought a Bitcoin now for 3,000, and in 20 years it was worth $1 million?
Today, I think, but yeah, I think it's 5 right now.
Yeah. So somewhere in the 5,000. But
anyway. 52.
Geez, I was just thinking Jim was talking about node flow. Yeah, me too. Haha. Geez. Yeah. Well, and yeah.
Well, it's a Midwestern term that we use. Blow money is I know on the coasts you guys are more sophisticated.
What would you call it, Andrew? That money?
Yeah, the stuff money? You just spending money. Yeah, same kind of deal.
Well, it's hard times these days.
But you could. That would be. I mean, right now, that's the best way. I think if you're saying, how long do you think it'll take the market to recover back to? Okay, first of all, it was a bubble to begin with, right? So, like, let's just say 25,000 on the Dow is kind of the right spot for it to be. Let's just kind of say that for now, right? Yeah. So we're at 20 right now, something like that. How long do you think it takes for it to kind of get back to? Is it a year? Do you think to come back? I mean, it was in 3 weeks, or does it come back? Like, let's just say the government comes out and says, "Hey, we got this under control," and it's true, right? We got this under control. We flattened the curve. Everything's great. We're fine. Schools, you guys can go back. Like those kinds of things. Food, toilet. We got plenty of toilet paper. September, you think?
I literally don't know. And I don't even know. I could say anything.
I didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
So let's listen to Bandrew, okay? Because look, there's a lot of, before I show his comment, here's the thing about Bandrew. There's a lot of similarities between reviewing an economic system versus reviewing a microphone. Okay. It's like the same thing, basically.
It's really close.
I mean, if you do one, you can do the other. Like it's nothing. So
Yeti.
Andrew thinks the recovery is completely dependent on the next few months. See, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you, Bandrew.
No, I think,
kidding.
I think it's quicker if we're a little saner, if we just execute a little bit of discipline as Americans on this thing. It's kind of like, hey guys, take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. You're going to be fine.
Although they've been, apparently the interest rates now, they went all the way down to 0. which people are saying that's never been done before.
Well, that just helps get liquidity into the market. So the government, it makes it cheaper. Like that's the right thing to do. Like they're doing, this is the fourth maybe time this is what the Federal Reserve likes to do when these kinds of things happen. By the way, the Japanese were at zero for 10 years. So like that doesn't necessarily mean, well, I mean, if on the flip side of things, the Fed's taking that to zero does not necessarily mean it's going to have an effect. I mean, Japan has been in a super long recession and they're still struggling to get out, and their Federal Reserve rate or whatever, they're lending right zero for the longest time. So I don't necessarily, but it sends the right signals to the market.
Right.
But I think you said this before, the futures tomorrow morning are awful already. So, it's
I think that even like an hour or two ago, I think it hit a circuit breaker.
It might
already.
Oh, like no more soup for you. no more soup for you.
I find that real. I didn't know about these circuit breaker things. Yeah. It's like, dude, and the third circuit breaker is if it hits that's if the market goes down 25 or 30% in one day. If it goes down that far, they literally shut down the whole thing.
Stop it. Yeah.
Which is great. We'll get back to this tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Or the next day.
Yeah.
Like, and those were 9/11. Those were all 9/11 after 9/11. Those were all put in. I think that's right. Because it was just, you just don't, in a moment of crisis, you actually don't want people. This is what we're finding in moments of crisis. You don't want actually people making decisions because they're irrational.
Right.
As hell.
What's up, American liberty? This too shall pass. Yes. But I hope the Podcasters Lounge doesn't pass, but the other stuff.
Dude, you're positioned. I think you already talked about your value proposition a few minutes ago, but is it a $500 entry for 5 ounces of hand sanitizer?
Oh,
I think that's what you said.
Of hand sanitizer. Yeah, that's true. I should probably sell shares to the Podcasters Lounge. Can I go public, Bandrew?
You could do futures. You could do hand sanitizer futures.
Bandrew is good with numbers and money and ledgers. Bandrew, can we go public? No, when can we go public? That's the question.
Yeah.
Wait, what did American Liberty? The market players are playing and thus causing the high swing market. Yes, true.
For sure. Yeah, but it's always been that way. It has always been that way. That's nothing new.
Yes, we need an IPO, and so we need a ticker.
Totally. I'm in.
What's
by
the
way,
ticker going to be?
If you IPO the Podcasters Lounge, I'm in.
Maybe PLYO. Podcasters Lounge, yo. PLYO. That could be the ticker. All right. Is it taken? All right. This is like a website. We gotta go. We gotta go reserve our ticker.
Get
like a URL. Sun Power Pod. Yes, Heather. Heather is basking in the hopefully the good feeling of kicking off her Sunshine Summit today, which is awesome.
Here's what I want to know. American Liberty, did you come in, like, are you a regular to the Podcasters Lounge, or did you hear we were, okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. I thought maybe YouTube was starting, because we got really political there it got really serious. And I was wondering, maybe YouTube was starting to send in,
people.
Yeah.
Viewers.
Yeah, I thought maybe they're sending us. They're like, man, that is a really interesting live stream. I think
they've already they've done a voice print on my voice, and if any bot ever that hears Chris Kerr, and they're like, oh, just push that down the list. Yeah,
Chris, I've recorded your laugh, and it's now what I wake up to.
Jesus. Hey, by the way, everyone, as I roll over my. Yeah, baby. All right. Who knows what that is? First person to tell me who that is gets a branded bottle of hand sanitizer. Oh, it's Bandrew. Dude, wow. It didn't even take him 3 seconds. Nice.
Bandrew knows everything. Bandrew knows everything. Every group needs a Bandrew, by the way, because he just knows everything. Like if you ever have a question, you're like, how do you change your tire? Bandrew knows. How do you clear the, if your sink gets clogged? Bandrew knows. Right.
He made a video about all those things.
I bet he does. I bet he's got I mean, there might even be fusion. He might even have a fusion reactor.
Remember the video where he was in the car and he's telling you how to check the mirrors? He's like, before you take a left turn, you better check this and check
Is it
that.
right, left, right, or left, right?
I do the old 1, 2, 1, 2 myself.
Do you? Fourth? So 2 checks each way?
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Just little checks. I go, I go, I go, I go, and then I feel good.
When I was in London, they paint on the road, like they tell you where to look, because they're pretty sure, like, first of all, they fly through the intersections, and then they're pretty sure there's these Americans who aren't looking the right way, because we're looking the other way for that kind of traffic, and they're like, hey, look this way, jackass. So that was the weirdest thing. I'm like, you get to the end of the street, be like, look this way,
right?
So yeah.
Bandrew also worked in Area 51, by the way. Okay,
really?
Yeah, he did. Well, I mean,
Snowden said no aliens, but Bandrew, are there? He would know.
He would know.
Yeah.
Bandrew knows how to turn a compost pile into a functioning nuclear reactor, dude.
And fusion. And
he did a mini podcast series on that, actually, not just one video. Actually,
he not only gets the fission, he gets the fusion, but then the fission reaction right after it.
Yeah, and then
they call that the double F in circles.
Hey now. Okay, terrific. The double F. All right, we're coining term. Is that really a term?
No.
I mean,
it sounded like it should be. The double F, fusion and fission. Come on, it's like blow. You guys, as soon as I said blow, they immediately you guys went to that. Come on, get your minds out of the gutter.
Us. I mean,
get your minds out of the gutter, people.
Double F, blow money, and Bandrew. Those 3 statements there, I think we're behind the 8 ball.
Are you getting ready to ban me, Chris? Like, my internet connection's not very gone.
Yeah, I can't. No, you know what? I really don't like banning people in the lounge, by the way. Even if they deserve it, I still don't like banning people. It just goes against.
Good. Well, I appreciate that. That means I got a few more minutes to hang out with you.
Oh, yeah? All right.
Anyways. Is that, is you got a guest coming on tonight as well?
Well, Mike Wilkerson said he would jump on, but
he said,
well, I don't know. I mean, he said he was, I forget what he said, but I think he's doing family stuff. So it's,
So I'm okay to hang with you. Is that okay?
If and when, you can hang with me. Sure. Yeah. And I'm
getting my podcast posted while we're talking. So
wait,
I got to do both.
Tell us what you're doing right now. What are you doing?
So I just posted on WordPress. So that's all set. I just created a pretty link for it so that's all in place. And then my next step is to go both I go to Facebook and I create hey, it's out, like, to my group. This is out. Go out and watch it. They're going to be pissed because it's supposed to come out on Saturday. Oops. And then I go to Discord and I post it there to the group. So that's what I do. That's what I'm doing right now. And then I start socializing it. And I have about 17 steps to socialization.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bandrew, I just sent you the link on Facebook Messenger, but I don't know if you use that. So should I send it on Twitter maybe? Anyway.
Oh man, you're gonna have Bandrew come in, like he's up here, and I'm like down there. I'll have to. I won't even. I feel bad. I won't even. I can't stand up to a guy with the double F. Sure. He does fusion and fission.
All right, I sent it in Twitter as well. All right. Now I gotta make sure I see him when he comes on. I'm notorious for that. Like, a guest will join on StreamYard, and you'll see him grayed out on the screen. And like, I just won't see him for like minutes. And then I look at him and they're like,
yeah, dude, I'm here. They've grown a beard and they've been there so long. They need a haircut.
Yeah. they doze off.
It's in
they're live. When I finally get them on.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot where was I? Where was I? I actually, I was doing a live stream or something with somebody one time. I forget what it was, but I'd sent them the link, and then I was sitting here waiting, and I just set my head back. I was tired. I set my head back. The next thing I knew, I could hear in my ears like, "Hello, hey, are you there?" Yeah, I could. And I was like, and I kind of woke up, and it was obvious. They caught me totally. I'm sure I had my mouth open and I was, drooling a little bit. I am sure that they caught me red-handed. I was like, so sorry. And then you're just dazed. When you wake up from that nap, that 10-minute nap, and you're just dazed. Like you don't even know what your name is. Yeah.
Wow.
You've never taken a nap like that? Have you ever?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Definitely. Oh yeah. No, I've taken all different naps of different length and woken up. Some naps are, especially like the 10 to 12 minute, 14 minute. If you actually fall asleep really quick and you wake up that quick, there's been times in my life when I wake up and I'm really foggy and I don't know where I am. But there's been times when I wake up and I'm literally wide awake, clear as a bell. And it's like, wow, dude, that was amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know why I kept that comment on the screen. I thought it was funny. Thank you, American Liberty.
Which one?
Double F Hair Trim Salon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-oh. I mean, yeah. We're keeping this clean for the family friendly.
When did those rules start? If you would have told me that when we started this, I would have said blow and double F.
My comment should not be put up. Yeah, no. So no, it's always been, PG-13.
Yeah,
we never drop anything crazy. Oh, by the way, I saw the craziest picture today on Instagram. There's an account. I've mentioned it before. It's called Nature is Metal. It's an account on Instagram. It is the sickest. Like it's like animals eating each other and like nasty, crazy, sick stuff. Like sick. And today, I don't even want to mention it. Actually, I can't. Yeah. I can't. Okay. Because Jamie's here.
Yeah, don't.
And I know Jamie likes animals, and I'm not going to say that. But no, if you're in,
how'd you stumble across it?
I think Joe Rogan mentioned it on his show. They were talking about it.
He's high most of the time.
Yeah, dude, the best one. There's literally a clip on Nature is Metal. I don't know. It must have been I don't know where it was, but there's a rhinoceros walking around, and then there's like this little car, kind of going slow on the side, and then all of a sudden this rhino gets mad, and he just, dude, I've never seen anything like this in my life. He starts ramming this car, and like at first you're like, oh my god, he can actually move the car, dude. He ended up picking up the car, flipping the car. Pushing it, stomping it. Like this rhino, it was unbelievable. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I'm like, I didn't know a rhino could go off like that. But
how did the people? Shows you how powerful they are, right?
Oh, dude, just flip like nothing. Flipping a car like it's literally nothing. Just going, flip.
Just
yeah, done. Flip.
How was the people? Did they?
I don't know. We didn't see what happened to the people.
Okay.
They must have been in the car. Like,
yeah.
Hopefully you don't get speared with a tusk. What do you call that thing?
I think it's a tusk.
Is it a tusk?
I think.
Oh, and I actually meant to say earlier, no, the Earbuds Podcast Collective, they're actually having a trivia night. It's actually it starts in like 7 minutes. But you have to pay $7 to get into that. So Ariel Nissenblatt, who was here on the lounge recently, she's running that tonight. And all right, all right.
Okay,
hold on. Let's have a moment here. All right. I think he can hear us, but Jim, let's do this. Let's play the silent game when Bandrew comes on. We'll just
totally. I got you. I don't. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, good, because I need to clear something up. Last time I changed a tire on a car, the wheel fell off. But here's the secret. That's what you want. Not many people know that, but that's what you're looking for when you change the tire on a car. You don't want the wheel to stay on. Just to be clear.
Did it really go like roll off the car and just roll into a field?
Andrew, I wouldn't expect that from you. I would expect more.
That didn't really happen.
But you did create a fusion and fission reaction, right?
Correct. Yeah. Okay. That was not a lie.
I'm pretty sure that's
that's accurate.
Did that video get demonetized or no? It's still
It did.
good.
It did. And also taken down by the government. That's one of the cases where the U.S. government said, okay, we got to stop this.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
This type of free
No.
speech is not okay.
We cannot promote this.
Exactly.
Not
Who does he think he
panic.
is?
Panic.
If you think 2008 was an economic recession, you should see what would happen with cold fusion out there.
Look
Well,
at you with the
because the fission reaction would warm it up, and then the fusion reaction. You get the heat that you need,
Mhm.
and then that would create the fission, and then you just keep doing that over and over, and it would be perpetual.
Exactly.
And you never have to add fuel, and you never have to. I mean, you've got that right.
Yeah.
You got that covered.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Have you seen the movie Chain Reaction with Keanu Reeves? No?
Oh, no.
No.
Well, that's based
No.
on me.
oh. Oh boy. Everyone's gonna Netflix that. So Bandrew, you're wearing the At the Gates hat, and I want to know how
Yeah.
you're doing with all this Corona stuff, the quarantining. But first, we got to bring in Mike Wilkerson.
Mike
yeah.
Wilkerson.
Ladies.
What's going on, everybody?
What's up,
How you
dude?
doing?
Have you washed your hands recently or what?
I just did.
Okay, great. Just checking,
did.
hand check.
And did you receive your Podcasters Lounge complimentary hand sanitizer in the mail?
No,
Dude,
but
you got a
I've
pledge.
got about 8 cans of Lysol in the studio because it's what my customers require now.
Oh, you still got people coming into your studio?
Oh yeah, yeah. Only the school districts have closed everything. I don't want to close yet. So
Okay. So all right. So Mike, I want to hear from you next. But Bandrew, briefly, like how you handling this, man?
Oh, I'm doing great. I can work remotely since the beginning of February. Every single week when I go to the grocery store, I'm just picking up a few extra cans. I'm set for like a month, man. About 6 months ago, I bought 2 weeks full of emergency food because I'm a paranoid psychopath weirdo. Hey, who's the weirdo now, guys? Who's the weirdo now?
Bitches.
Big brain.
how do
Big
we
brain moment.
mix Bandrew and the word prepper to make a new word for him? Got to figure that one out.
Oh,
Forget the microphone archive. He's now the prepper guy.
Well, I need a place to store all the microphones. I need the bunker to
you
protect
go.
it. It's the
See-
archive.
You know what I
Yeah.
saw inside of YouTube today? I saw failed bunker samples from a guy that builds bunkers and shelters.
Uh-huh.
It was amazing. It's a whole little cottage industry of look how terrible this bunker is, but I'll make you a better one. Who knew?
Yeah, like have you seen that seed vault? I don't
Yes.
know in
Yeah.
Greenland.
Yeah.
That's what I'm working on for microphones because when the nuclear apocalypse happens,
The
we need the
recordings
microphones.
must go on.
yeah, recording doesn't stop.
The
I'm going to
recordings will
broadcast
live
the
for
apocalypse
legacy.
and it's going to sound incredible.
Yeah. Kick ass. That's great, man. Sign me up.
All right.
I've
got
got
a
some
spot.
I got some PR40s and a bunch of other shit in here you can have.
Perfect.
and because you've never disclosed your location, Bandrew, now that you have all these supplies, there's no
Perfect.
fear that anyone's going to come try to get them.
Exactly.
Who'd have figured you'd have been thinking that far ahead? Congratulations, my friend. You finally made it. No one knows where the hell you are, but you've made it, friend.
Finally, after 10 years, I'm not the weirdo. Or at least all the weird behavior is paid off.
Well, let's not get carried away.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
welcome
I'll
to the
just hang out
weirdos.
here with my
That's all.
fission fusion reactor and my water powered car.
That's
And
perfectly normal. Those things are
Wait, what-
perfectly normal.
What's a hand bidet? Is that a bidet?
yeah, you just use your hand.
Oh,
Wow.
can we see that demonstrated?
Wow.
Never mind.
Hold on, let me sanitize. Let me sanitize
I
it first.
got nothing. I got nothing.
Oh,
I got a Yeti back there. I'll use that instead. Mike, how
You
are you
really-
doing over there?
I'm really good. St. Louis has just recently locked down most of its effort. And so I expect that our workplaces will eventually allow us to be working remotely. And after doing all the triage of last week, I'm assuming that I'll finally realize that probably for the last 18 of my 22 years at my company, I probably could have been working remote anyway.
Mhm.
You know,
That
it's funny how when the buttons get pushed, how quickly the triage happens and how commonsensical people get when there's an emergency. when we could have been doing a whole lot more to be efficient a long ass time ago.
So how many companies do you think are going to realize how much they save on overhead by having remote work, that after this, they'll just say, okay, just keep working from home. Let's save some money.
Something that my 9 to 5 has been cooking up, and this is in no way a sales pitch, but what we've been cooking up for a long time is remote workstations, because we sell lots of computers anyway, but remote workstations is something that we've had our finger in for years. And it's now just become hot topic, where if you had 300 workers and you needed all of them to have remote workstations in less than a week, we are the company. We image machines, we send them out in mass, and they're all business grade machines. So you open up the machine and you're ready to go. And so it's funny how, we're kidding about your prepping nature, but accidentally we've been prepping for a long ass time. And so it's fun to be on the front end of that instead of being on the back end having to catch up accidentally. It's remarkable.
Yeah, the front end is usually more. Oh, never mind. I'm not gonna.
That was earlier in the show, Chris. That was earlier. we were being inappropriate earlier. Yeah.
There's a weird line when like there's a weird line when you don't curse, but you did say something you shouldn't have said. Right? Isn't there? There's a line there.
The double entendre was very, very strong.
Oh,
Mike,
okay.
you said so. Mike, you said.
I'm sorry.
No, Mike, you said St. Louis is getting ready to buckle down. So, are you feeling like? So, like, I felt like tomorrow for Omaha is the day everybody goes home. Like, we have some companies who are still kind of trying it out and such, but I think everybody who's going to get the order goes home tomorrow.
Yeah, last week. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jim. Sorry.
No, keep going.
So last week, Wednesday, was kind of the D-Day weird feeling about in general. And that's when the media started cranking up the dial. And that's when we started getting the emails. It says something like, I need a listing of your essential projects and whether they could be accomplished remotely or not. And that's pretty simple anyway. The concept of to-do list is something that I've been working with for over a decade anyway. And so being able to pull and shunt that stuff to the people that need to see what they need to see is really straightforward. It's not a, oh my God, is my job in jeopardy moment. It's just a, what are you working on? Can it be accomplished remotely thing.
Right.
So once you export that and you realize that not only are we cranking up how many machines can be pushed out to people that are remote and away, but are we actually cranking up machines so that people that work here, if they don't have a machine, that could be handed one along with whatever paperwork they actually need from their job, along with collecting cell phone numbers, which they did. And that's when you start realizing that, is this the gas mask moment where you put on the gas mask, you get back in your car and you drive home and we'll see you in a month.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's something I'm certain nobody's prepped for that. Everybody's seen it in some kind of a movie or thought about it in the case of modern day preppers that get ready for things like this. And a lot of what is inside of movies and feature film is now actually arriving on people's doorsteps. And so it's incredibly important to have it delivered appropriately. And we haven't seen a whole lot of the appropriate nature of delivery of information like this. And I hope that changes. It's one of the reasons why I started whatcopswatch.com, to help people understand that inside of law enforcement, there are things that you see on television, inside of feature films and streaming media that is essentially not accurate, like at all. Mm-hmm. And so being able to help people belay fears inside of things that you'll see inside of name movie that explains, oh my God, virus. And a lot of the things that you see inside of those movies, they're based on reality, but they skew immediately because there was a writer's room, and the writer's room has to amp up Hollywood and not focus on what is almost always more mundane practices inside of modern day law enforcement, especially for things like a virus impact. And that's very frustrating, especially as a podcaster that features content like that, because we don't have any of that in general. I think one of Rogan's recent programs, I think, is essential listening. They have on what is an infectious disease professor. He's essentially a medical detective, And the medical detective details exactly what people should be thinking and doing that isn't, oh my God, it's time to unscrew the top of your head and push as hard as you can. There's a whole lot more process inside of the concepts of prepping that are completely missing from the lexicon of what needs to be happening right now. And so back to your question, it's kind of the long answer. Yes, the school districts locally, they closed about an hour ago. Traditionally, what that means is that workplaces are going to have to be looking very, very hard on whether or not they can have their people working remotely or not. Essentially, what that means is that my wife looking for hours at Target, she's got her pick of the litter for hours this entire week and probably the rest of the month. So the paradigm of what's going to happen and what can people do is going to get tested very, very quickly.
Yeah. No, that's a good. I think. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
No. Here's that episode with Joe Rogan, Michael Osterholm. This was it. Really good.
And I have to tell everybody that is either watching this on replay or watching us. How many watchers have we got right now? 0.
768,000.
Okay, well, all
Looking
768,000 of you. I can't tell you how essential watching this Joe Rogan podcast is. I've been very plain about my liking of the concept of Joe Rogan's program, but also my dislike of a lot of the things that he showcases, because I love the feel and the platform that he's provided. I don't like the delivery mechanism a lot of the times, but this program is essential viewing from Joe Rogan with Michael Osterholm, the medical detective, that is on a level that the most base viewer listener can listen to and get the concepts and then be able to step forward. And all you got to do is listen. The problem is that his hour and a half, it shows 3 hours. The good solid core concepts, though, are about an hour and a half of the whole program. And if you just take the time to listen, you will be armed with so much more educational information. That education is why I podcast. I want people to be having the light bulb moments inside of their podcast experience, period. That's it. That's what I want.
The light bulb moments.
Yeah.
How many times the people that test negative will they have to do to keep accuracy over time? Yeah, that's a good question, right?
Bottom line is we've got to get the line of defense out so that testing can begin. After the testing begins and you start seeing numbers come back of people that test positive, people that test negative, and then start getting more environmental details, that's when you'll be able to start making, it's kind of like, remember when the FBI first started doing profiles for serial murderers? It's the same concept in that, unfortunately, you have to wait for there to be more serial murders to know exactly what's going on and how they operate, and then we actually have to catch them. Well, it's going to be very much the same thing with something like this, because name the last pandemic that was this widespread and impactful. Yeah. And you have others, but you don't have anything that's nearly this impactful right now.
Right. Speaking of impactful, Bandrew, what microphone is that?
I am speaking into the Telefunken TF-47.
Can you just hide behind it real quick? That'd be great. There it is. Perfect.
Better.
Now nobody knows what you look like. No one knows where the hell you live, and no one's going to get your toilet paper and your hand sanitizer and microphone set.
Oh gosh, yeah. That's one good thing about what's going on. If somebody breaks in, they're not going for the microphones. Yeah, they're going for the TP, the canned beans, and the water. They'll leave this alone.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. Again, I'm so sorry that I'm late tonight. Have we already talked about the amass of let's go get toilet paper and milk and whatever the hell else is now sold out?
Yeah, okay. A little bit.
Right.
Bandrew, what Heather's asking, what mic will you be using tomorrow on your appearance on the Sunshine Summit representing Geeks Rising?
This microphone in my hand. This is the Bayer Dynamic M201TG, one of the most sleeper dynamic microphones out there. This thing sounds absolutely incredible, and people don't talk about it enough. Gosh darn it. It is an incredible sounding microphone, incredibly smooth. It's got a similar smoothness to the 7B, but then it has quite a bit more air and treble and clarity to it, so it doesn't sound as closed off.
Nice.
Incredible. And then the A81WS from Shure, this is the one they use on the 57. it fits perfectly on here. It's like it was made for this thing.
And what's the make and model again? Say it again.
Bayer Dynamic M201TG.
There it
And I
is.
think some BBC radio stations use this for VO as well.
I love little happy accidents like the cover that you've got there. That
Yeah.
does not happen nearly enough, and I get it's because they want you to buy their shit, but
Yeah.
I love it when accidents like that happen. There's another perfect sample for the hold on, I got wires all over the place here. Here we go.
That's the mic
The,
you're using right now?
No, this one.
Oh.
This one though, this is Joe Jackass from Amazon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So there needs to be
Nice.
way more happy accidents like that because I'm tired of spending ass loads of money on stuff that doesn't need to be bought.
Yeah.
Right.
On the note of happy accidents, the shock mount. This is an Audio Technica shock mount that's for shotgun microphones, but fits perfectly for this mic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
AT8410A. Yeah, I'm using that tomorrow per Heather's request because she loves it as much as I do. She has
This
good
is-
taste.
This is something striking. I got this from a dude that's in California, and I got him for the PR40s because
Did Mike Delgadio do a video on something like that?
maybe
know?
I sent Mike Delgadio 3 or 4 microphones that he's done out of my tiny little entourage.
Okay.
Unlike yours. But this is spectacular because on it goes, and it's extraordinarily cool looking. The guy that put this together, he made he made this one, and then I asked him to make another one that just had a.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
So
That looks-
I wanted something. The Finn microphones are kick ass because they look like, old school shiny 50s kick assery, and so I wanted something that was appealing and eye catching. Well, Jesus, doesn't
That
get much more
reminds
eye
me-
catching than that.
that reminds me of that thing that a dog has to wear after it has surgery so it doesn't lick themselves.
The cone of shame.
It kind of looks like a fencing mask.
Yeah, well, it's made of probably the same stuff, but not nearly as metal, obviously. But that's the other thing too, is that it looks like you couldn't possibly bend it, but here we go. So
What's
it's
up,
excellent,
Gary?
and it fits on anything with these really great. All these are hair ties,
Nice.
so it'll fit on anything. It's tremendous.
The Hook Studios makes those.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've actually never seen those. Banjo, did you ever test a windscreen like that?
No, not like that. The only time I've seen that other than right now is Mike Delgadio did a video where there was something that looked exactly like that, and he used it for, as Gary says, the 416. Yeah, I saw him use it for that. But I just started to play around with these. It's not nylon, but it's more of a foam, and it's incredibly acoustically transparent. Like if I use a pop,
Right, like
not like this one. This one's a good one, but one of those cheap foam or nylon ones.
yes.
It adds a bit of sibilance to it, and it sounds kind of funny. This doesn't change the tone at all, or for the most part, not at all.
That's interesting.
But nothing like
But-
that. That's
By
fascinating.
the way, if you do test these pop filters, you should actually while you're testing it and you're doing please bring pizza pronto, you should have pizza in your mouth. That's a request from me.
well,
I mean,
yesterday,
because everyone loves it when you have shit in your mouth and you do your podcast.
yes,
I
chewing
know, I
on a
love it.
podcast, everybody's favorite.
I want you to accidentally spit it out too, like
Oh,
spit it all
gosh.
over the windscreen.
Can you also have a whistle with your fake teeth? That would be awesome. Also.
I can't whistle. I don't have the ability to, or snap.
Oh,
My
hey, you can a little snap there.
my dad took a break from his podcast, and back in 2012, my dad took a break from his podcast because he got new teeth, and I'm like, Pop, what's up? Why aren't you continuing? And he goes, the problem is that I got my new teeth, and every time that he had something that would make his teeth whistle, he's like, and that's why, motherfucker. And he would, so every time he would whistle, he'd whip out some blue air. It was just, oh man, he was just such a gold man. Love him.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so hopefully the stock market and everything doesn't crash too much, because that could actually be really bad, right?
Well, as you were saying earlier, it's a buying opportunity.
Right.
Yeah. If you have the cash.
Stock market will travel, man.
Yeah, although the Fed did drop rates to 0, so why not just take out a crap ton of money, go into crippling debt, buy stocks when it goes back up, sell, pay back the debt, and you just got a bunch of money for free.
Sell.
Not trading advice. Do not take this as proper financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I am not authorized to give you this information. If you trade on this information and lose money, that's on you.
And he's got an assload of microphones.
You cannot sue me.
They're going to come get him. Didn't somebody say put TP out in front of the house, and they'll just take that.
Yeah.
Leave the microphones alone.
What is this, Katy Perry? Are you excited for Katy Perry's new album? Wow. Katy, are you here?
Hey, Katy Perry, big fan. Although I kind of hold a grudge against you because you and Matt Thiessen broke up, and Reliant K is one of the best pop punk bands ever. How dare you?
Yeah.
Is she only in left channel because I don't hear anything? What happened?
By the way,
she
broke up with her boyfriend and did not call Bandrew. That mistake right there.
Wait, broke up with her boyfriend that she's pregnant by? Isn't that Orlando Bloom?
No, this was Reliant K's a Christian band, and they were engaged probably 15 years ago, and they broke up. We got some good songs out of it, though.
By the way, Bandrew, someday in your life you're going to be on the what do they call that when you're like the red carpet when you're going into like a big event like the Grammys or the Academy Awards? You're going to be like you and some hot chick are going to be walking there, and you probably have like a trench coat with a bunch of mics inside, so you could just pull them out any moment, you know.
Hey man, need an SM57. Hey man, how about a fin?
No, they'll put a mic in front of. They'll put a mic in front of his face to ask him a question, and he'll be like, "Ugh." He'll be like,
"The mic is disgusting." Away with you.
That mic is disgusting. Substandard mic, be gone.
Away with you, peasant.
Yeah. Ugh.
Now I hope that one day I have that opportunity. If I ever am in any situation where I could be on a red carpet, I'm going to make sure that I bring a U87 on one of those little XLR plugs, the little XLR recorders, and be like, no, get out, stop.
Get this out
here
of
we
my
go.
face.
Give me that.
Disconnect it and then just drop it.
Clearly, you can't record me with that.
I don't even talk into those things. Disgusting.
I can't believe you pulled that in my direction, much less have me talk.
What was the line from? What was it? It's from Monty Python. There's a line, famous line, like
I fought in your general direction.
Yeah.
Something, and your father smells of elderberries.
I think your mother was a hamster. Your mother
That's
was
it.
A hamster, and your father smelled of elderberries. Now be gone. Wow, that went down a rabbit hole.
Nice visual. I really like that.
I do like the visual of Andrew just grabbing the mic out of the hand, disconnecting it, and then just chucking it as far as he possibly can.
Behind him, so it's still on camera.
And
like hits the wall or the curtain behind him. That would kick
breaks
ass.
a window or something.
Or like he hits a starlight.
Oh my god! There must be somebody who has done
still
that.
Attached.
There must be someone. Some celebrity who's upset about being interviewed, grabbing the mic and throwing it.
Oh,
there must be.
Gotta be.
Yeah, there has to be. Right?
You know what? Not lately because of reasons. So probably not. Seriously.
There it is. Now go away, or I shall taunt you a second time.
Oh man,
that's the right line, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah. Well, there you go. So it's Sunday night. Does it feel like Sunday night? Doesn't?
No, this whole weekend has been sideways.
Yeah.
Jim was talking about the lockdown / clamps being put on St. Louis, and I've been focusing on a traveling podcast and video series that I've wanted to launch here for the last month, and boy, doesn't this put a big giant kink in that.
Right.
It's amazing how everything halts.
Yeah.
But do you think there could be some opportunities like in this that people could stay local, or, you know, I mean, prices are they got to drop right at this point, and people are just begging you to come and do their thing instead of us flying all over the country. What if we actually just focused on the local economy? And it's not like for folks, for hourly workers. And I mean, this could be devastating. So I don't want to sound, I don't want to be unsensitive to that. Yeah.
I got it.
But for those who are still continuing to work and they're not spending money for whatever reason, right? They're not traveling. This isn't going in. And I know 75% of the travel that happens is business travel. Like, so I know that, okay. But so there's that. There's corporate money in that. But man, if we focused on local economies during this time and took some, if you need the weekend to get away, you know, for me, travel down to Nebraska City. I'm sure there's some dynamite cheap places to stay where we could still support the local economies.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we don't have to go to Orlando. I mean, I know it's a really nice. The good news is for most of the country, some of the best weather is still coming. So like spring and summer is on its way. We could be doing some things to support locally, and we wouldn't have to get on an airplane. Now that's bad for the airlines. I get that, but okay, there's still some things we can do to limit the damage.
Yeah, Steve Stewart and I have been talking long and hard about trying to have satellite conventions that approximate essentially what just got pulled off with the podcast editors conference that was tethered to Podfest recently. And that mini model, that mini con summit style model is a very good model. And if you can have local, we'll use the word communities. There's another word that I want to try and find. But if you can grab and have those local communities not only foster that, but also promote it appropriately and have a to-do listing of check boxes that can be hit. And then as it goes, you can start to see how people not only show their interest, but then their actual I'm going-ness.
Mm-hmm.
There is a way to do that. It's just a matter of striking when the iron's hot, when there's attention span. And this might be able to create and craft something like that. So it's not impossible. It's possible. It just takes a dedicated enough group to do it all. And the want to find monies to get to conferences as well as breaks inside of schedules, that instantly gets easier when things are local. So I'm a giant fan of that. I love the podcasting industry, but my life is just not built to get away for conferences. And so having something that is local, that is within a 200-mile distance, I would love to be able to gravitate towards something like that in St. Louis. My life's not built so that I can get away for 4 or 5 days to Orlando, Florida, or to Jersey, or to San Diego.
Yeah. I think we just need to get more local in that.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I mean, we got to be careful we're still trying to limit crowd sizes and some of those kinds of things that are going on at this. So the virtual piece, I think we've got to rethink our virtual strategy. Like, I think people are trying to take hey, let's take what worked in person and then we'll just try and mimic it virtually.
Remote. Yeah. That's not going to work.
And I don't let's just record this and we'll try. And I don't know if that works. I actually think us podcasters have the key to it in creating these things that we do, and then these communities that we have. And if it would be more like that, as opposed to, just basically replicating a classroom situation online, I think we'd have a lot more luck with it, right? I mean, we learn in little increments. We learn with watching YouTube videos. We learn by having these kinds of conversations on a Sunday night we haven't learned much tonight, but we know Bandrew will chuck a mic the next chance he gets. But, we don't, there are times when we could be doing more of this. No.
Oh, he just threw it in the hallway,
It
dude.
was a 58.
Oh,
It's fine.
God.
It's a 58. Yeah, it's
It's
fine.
fine.
Pshaw.
I drove over it
Pshaw.
with my truck 20 minutes
It's
ago.
fine. He was
By
hammering
the way,
with
Jim,
it.
I think you're getting at something interesting here, like doing something virtual that's markedly better than just a standard webinar or
Right,
whatever we
right.
used to do, right? Is
Yeah.
that what you're sort of
Yeah.
aiming at?
Yeah, creating communities like we do here. Like you have the
Value.
Podcasters Lounge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Value proposition.
Yeah.
If as long as we can keep the value on top
Right.
and make that the focus, then it would work. But then it's also got to be promoted. So
Right.
the promotion and the value have to go hand in hand throughout the whole thing, as opposed to, oh shit, it's in 3 months, we've got to now promote it or we're going to lose our ass.
Right.
Because that's
So-
the model. The model right now is just what I stated.
So the question is, how does a corporation create a value proposition to create a community of their workers who don't want to be there? They'd much rather go chat with their friends who like talking about microphones rather than Joe Bob from HR who, I don't know, wants to punch him in the face.
Right.
So what's the value proposition there? I think you're absolutely right, but developing that proposition is what will be difficult.
Yeah.
And that's the $1 million question. They're going to hire consultants for that. So if you can come up with it, you're in the money.
I'm going to
Yeah.
get to work.
Well, we're shifting. You know, we offer a week-long training at Gallup where I work. We offer a week-long training seminar. They come in. It's $8,000, right? It's expensive. It's high value. We lock them in a room, and they do this thing for a week. Well, that we have to rethink that, and we've rethought it about 8 times over the last 5 years. But because there's been no impetus for moving forward with it, we never did. It always got, it's easier to do it the way we've been doing it. Well, on Friday, all of a sudden it was like, hey, we actually have to do this. Now, the good news is we thought about it for a long time. So there was a lot of frameworks there, but it really got them kind of thinking like, okay, how do we do this thing? And what does it look like? And thankfully they said it's not going to be 5 days sitting in a computer watching someone teach, because that's what it could be. It's going to be a version. I don't know the exact version yet, and we haven't made it public, but it's going to be some kind of different model. And I encourage them to model it around what we've been doing with our podcasts, where it's over time and people get to interact with each other, and you're creating communities of people, whether they're public or private communities. We have a CHR roundtable that we've created that's completely virtual. Those CHROs never get together, but they talk to each other all the time in communities like this, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we're moving that direction. I think it'll be interesting to see where it goes. Proof's in the pudding. We still got a couple weeks to pull it off. So
it's going to be a tremendous amount of learning in that area all over the world for the next 6 months, right?
Yeah. The concept and core centerpiece of all of that has to be light bulb moments. Again, not to bang on what I love to call a hallmark of programming that I love to participate in, but if people go and there's nothing learned and it's just yakking, you having to learn to endure the dude that Bandrew's talking about, the value that I'm referring to are the light bulb moments. To go back to that Rogan podcast that we talked about previously in this episode, when you go and listen to that podcast, there are 0 speed bumps inside of that podcast, except that there are so many light bulb moments. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right.
There's nothing in there where it gets uncomfortable. There's a couple of spaces where it kind of smacks you in the face, but there's nothing smacking you in the face like, and if you don't, your eyes are going to bleed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The details that he offers are a step-by-step process as to what is happening, what has happened, not only in this case, but other cases, and then how you can navigate the hurdles that you are likely to expect. And if you had anything like that about anything that you can list off in the lexicon of your experience in life, taxes, creating a business, starting a podcast,
Right.
Learning how to be a not successful YouTuber, but just getting your ass on it. If you can have those light bulbs that help guide you, as opposed to, oh my God, another wall in your face. you're going to not only participate, but you're going to share that experience with others so that they'll want to jump in, right?
Totally. Well, Katy Perry's here in the chat. Katy, do you have any thoughts about this?
Is she only in the left channel? Son of a bitch.
She's in mono. I mean, yeah.
Try again. Engage.
I think she's only in the chat room.
She's in the text chat.
Oh.
Not really. Not really going to join us.
Okay.
All right.
Never mind.
So, yeah, there's so much opportunity for virtual stuff. And
Well,
I was
Mike,
thinking that, no, I like the concept of not straight teaching, but doing something creative. And it reminded me of something one of my clients does. There's some service. It's a website where you sign up and then you do like hour-long work sessions and you get paired with someone else. I keep hitting this mic because I'm not used to it being here. You get paired with another person, a live person, and like you each just, it's like an hour of dedicated work at your desk, and you just say hi, and then you just leave the video and audio on, and then you go about doing your work. It's like accountability, right? That, hey, I'm going to sit and do work for an hour. I didn't know anything like that existed, but she says it's really helpful to her. I don't know. I thought of that. I thought I would just throw it out there.
I think the interactivity is really beneficial for certain learning types, but also I think the detriment of a lot of these trainings is the people teaching it aren't public speakers. They don't know how to be engaging, so they're just dry. They just say, here is how you conduct this accounting method.
Yeah.
You subtract this from this. So perhaps there's an opportunity for podcasters to actually get hired to teach people who are going to be leading trainings for hundreds of people to ensure that they actually convey the information in a way that's meaningful for the people attending it, in a way that's engaging.
I got it. What you do is you have your instructor, and then you have a comedian there that's roasting him the entire time.
Yes.
Ongoing roast. The entire course.
What are we thinking?
And so when he goes, so in the accounting software, you click on this tab, and then the comedian will be like, dude, what the F? Can you put a little energy into it? Are you laying horizontal in a coffin right now?
We'll call him Heckler Nars.
There you go.
Heckler Nars.
Well, I do think the challenge, though, like we've got some pretty good instructors in person. You know, they're not, you guys are referring to kind of the old Microsoft Word instructor who would come in, right?
Yeah.
Excel, right? Those kind
of PowerPoint.
Right. And you know, and you can default to that. Dave Jackson did that for a while. He's really good at it, and he kept it engaging, and he made it interesting, and he cracked jokes, right? Kind of thing. But that style does not necessarily, even if you did it exactly, even if you're super engaging in person in a classroom, that does not mean that directly correlates over to being on a screen with people out there, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. And it's tough. We know it's tough to sit in front of a screen for a 45-minute session straight and even listen to somebody compelling, right? I mean, what keeps us hooked on the podcast sometimes is we're listening to it in our car. We have nothing else we can do. Mm-hmm. I even, you know, this interview with Rogan, I'll be honest with you, I can't sit at my computer and listen to Joe Rogan. It's interesting as it is. I won't do it because there's too many other things to distract me. I've got to do it in the car. And so what if most of that material was done and people got to listen to it we have to put them in the right environment to be able to do it. Otherwise we can't send them to work. We can't sit them at a desk and have them watch this stuff, even if they're the best interactions with it.
Yeah.
Right. So,
there's I forgot, it's not reels or snippets, but it's whatever the equivalent is. There's I think it's actually Rogan's lackey that puts out his little snippets. Right. And the little snippet is a really great vital piece of that medical detective's piece. And that's what, and I don't look at what comes through Rogan's stream regularly, but I saw that and that's what got me in. And then I went and listened to the whole thing. Yeah. And so having effective pieces like that, where you can guarantee that there are at least 2 or 3 light bulb moments inside of a short reel that someone can take in and then go and get more. Yeah. Also, the concept of attention spans is something that has been dwindling for so many years that I get continually frustrated as a former interpreter trying to explain to people that I don't need you to listen to 99% of what I'm telling you, but I do need you to pay attention to what I'm telling you. And there's a difference. There's a difference between that. And I think that explaining and having a bar of what that actually means is incredibly important for people to understand the learning process, and how maybe you've been learning your entire life is maybe how you shouldn't have been learning. Because I think that there are discovery moments that people can have in their lives where they realize, why did I take that on so easily? And those are the things that we got to try and replicate, or at least identify in people, and then replicate those because it's what they want.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think Chris, hold on one sec. I think in the same token, people learn differently, and so one mode it can't be one mode. We've got to. There has to be. By the way, some will sit at the computer and listen to it. Then there's some who are going to need to listen to it in tiny bits or even long form in their car. Some are going to need interacting with a group. Some are going to need we just need to come up with all these different modes. That's the same thing. We try to create one way, because it's easy. It's for learning design people. Why wouldn't they want to create it one? Because it's easy, Right. But we know people don't learn that way. They don't. And some need to hear it over and over and over and over and over again. So we have to produce this. Yeah, me too. We have to produce this just enormous amount of content and then give it to them in a way that allows them to interact with it, that works best for them. I'm a Peloton guy now. I don't have the bike, but I have the app, and I can go select any app for any duration to meet my need in the moment for what I'm doing. Imagine if whatever you're trying to learn, you could go to 7 different instructors and say, I'm going to take this instructor because he teaches me the way that I learn. Mm-hmm. And so you get to know an instructor. Imagine if all 7 taught the same content, but they just taught it in 7 different ways, and I got to choose.
How totally cool I love that.
I think the difficulty in that is sometimes in certain areas there aren't enough experts to teach 7 different ways.
Totally.
When we were adopting a new practice, I'm trying not to give too much away. There was only one expert that we were able to hire to teach everybody. And I needed to take the training 4 separate times to understand it, because regardless of how good the teacher was, it wasn't my style. And I had to try to implement it, find the errors, and then go back with questions, take it again, go back, find errors, and repeat. Yeah. So I think you're absolutely right. That would be ideal. But in many instances, that's not going to be feasible.
But maybe more than not, don't you think? In most of the things that we do, there's probably more experts, and there's probably a good number where it's specialized. Mm-hmm. Fusion and fission, that's probably the key. For you, that's probably the case. But
exactly,
I just would hate to throw out the baby with the bathwater on that one to say no. I think in a lot of cases when people are trying to learn or train or whatever, how great would it be? And we kind of have this. It's not in one place. How great would it be to have 7 different instructors on teaching how do you start a podcast? We have it. It's just not all in one place. And imagine if it was. And so people could pick, hey, I like Dave, or I like Mike, or right, and they could pick the instructor kind of based on, anyways.
But then I get it, Andrew.
I totally get what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I
think
then
you'd have to categorize those 7 teachers and give them labels. This guy teaches the short and sweet way. This guy teaches the deep way. This guy teaches that way.
They will get labeled. Let's be plain.
Yeah.
Well, because you got to match the person's learning style with the teaching style. So then there has to be a word. Maybe there has to be a word. Yeah.
But Chris, when I went to Peloton, I just started trying instructors until I found a couple that I liked. I'd go through one and I'd be like, oh, that was okay. And then I found, I went to another one and I was like, oh, wow.
You bring up a great point here. We cannot underestimate how much the learning process, how much the responsibility for learning is on the student.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what you're teaching, what method you're using. Nothing matters if the student's going to sit there and be like, I don't give a crap.
Totally.
You're done. And conversely, the guy who really wants to know, someone who figures out that I'm going to learn this, they make a decision. You can't stop them.
Right. Right.
You cannot stop that person.
Right. Something that's been incredibly important inside of the social media feeds for me is the concept of impulsivity and how social media breeds impulsivity. A couple of my favorite samples are not from any wife who shall remain nameless, but when we go someplace and not only does a photograph need to be taken right now, it also needs to be shared inside of social media right now. No, it doesn't. I'm going to endure you taking the pictures because I want you to take a picture of your full plate of food. No problem. Let's do that, sweetie. I love you very much. Let's do that. Focus that. And then let's go ahead and eat and be a family. Okay. And that's awesome. And so let's take the picture. But do not then take the next 6 or 7 minutes to make sure your social media feeds get populated because it's a family freaking dinner.
Yeah.
Okay. So the immediacy piece, especially in times of incredible circumstances like we have right now. My favorite sample was just inside of my social media feed. There's this gorgeous bridge inside of Indiana someplace. And, it's old and it's super steel and rivets and, just all kinds of awesome. And some lady drove this giant Mack truck through it. The problem is that it was only made for 6,000 pounds. The truck weighs 60,000 pounds.
Oops.
And she didn't know how to convert to tonnage. So when it says X amount of tons, she didn't know. She's oh, okay. Into the bridge she goes. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it. And that's what I mean about impulsivity is, she bothered to learn how to drive a truck, asterisk. She bothered to get in the truck. She drove the truck through a city. She knew the route, asterisk. And what the hell happened there?
All I know is Bandrew's microphone delivery is late, and there's going to be hell to pay.
Well, he threw it in the hallway.
he threw a 58 in the hallway. I love it.
Do you have an animal that'll fetch it? That would be cool.
No, I don't.
Oh, no, that would be something.
No, I don't want animal fur in all my microphones.
Yeah, slobber.
Wouldn't hurt the 58. Wouldn't hurt the 58.
The 58 can.
Yeah.
They
Wash
ran it
it
over
off.
with a bus.
just dip it in water and wash it
yeah.
off. It'll be fine. Don't even
The
do that.
hose,
Just plug it in.
spray it with a hose.
You
ever see that?
The other thing Bandrew had that is a phenomenal point that so few people really get is, as a former sign language interpreter, I think I interpreted, several thousand instructors over the course of my careers inside of colleges, hospitals, name it. I've probably been there and I've interpreted inside that situation. And what always is something people don't get is there can be one guy that's delivering a message that's exactly the same as another dude. And it doesn't make any sense at all. And so as an interpreter sitting in the middle and going between classes to what is essentially the same class, but having 2 or even 4 different instructors deliver. There's the guy that's actually teaching something. There's the guy that's reading off of bullet points from a book that he just read and is now mimicking to a student. And so Bandrew's got a piece there that is completely lost inside of especially teacher certification, because there needs to be more than just a bar. That leveling and certification and ongoing certification process is something that is completely missing in almost every teaching lexicon.
Thank you, American Liberty, for that comment. And I showed it for a little bit because, yeah.
He's referring to Cheryl.
In quotes. That's not her real name, though, is it?
No, I don't know her real name.
Yeah. Well, what else is going on, you guys? We're actually 2 hours and 13 minutes into a live stream.
Wow.
I'm looking through my assortment to see what else I could play and pull from. Oh,
yeah.
That's actually a really good conversation, though, just to be honest. I mean, like,
Right?
that 45 minutes or whatever it was on talking about different learning styles.
Yeah.
There's a lot there, guys.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot.
Yeah.
And there's,
Mhm.
I think in this time, we have a lot to offer the world as it goes virtual. for the most part, for whatever it is, the next 4, 6, 8 weeks. It'll never come back as far as it had been. Like everybody's going to stretch, right? And that stretch will never come back. We're going to get some permanent gains on this thing.
Yeah.
And I think we've got an opportunity to speak to the world on saying, hey, you have a new opportunity to do this.
Yeah.
Let's do it different.
Yeah.
Let's try some things differently. And I think we as podcasters have to step up to our corporate entities. And thank goodness, I've been doing this at Gallup for 7, 8 years now. And that I was the first person they called when this stuff started happening. Like, all right, what do we like? Give us some ideas. How are we going to handle this kind of thing? What are you doing that can help? But we have to have other podcasters. I know we got tons of indies that are out there that are working. They're not podcasting. I'm fortunate. Podcasting is my job, right? But for them, it's not. But how could they provide that value? And I think we're in the perfect spot. We've been doing this for 10 years, and we're in the perfect spot to say this is how you do it, right? So, anyways, this is a valuable. Like that last 45 minutes was really good. I mean, there's some really good stuff in there.
Yeah, I agree, and I hope I can find some students who fit with my teaching style, which is completely based on physical abuse, harsh physical abuse. I mean, that's it. So it's hard to do that virtually, though, unless there's a machine that can like hold a whip that they can put near their desk, and I just press a button and.
Chris, I'm just kind of waiting for the next crazy thing you're going to say. That's kind of like, I'm just like, okay, I want to learn because what's he going to say next? What's he going to say next?
Oh, God.
Oh, I love it.
Sorry, I'm so lame. Oh, we got new comments.
No.
The eldest bro is here.
Eldest bro.
Eldest bro from the stream last
Ross
night.
Brand is back.
Oh, there he is. Oh, my gosh. Welcome back.
We didn't put too many to sleep with that.
American Liberty says he would have done much better taking online schooling and being able to do his classes at night. Not everyone's an early morning person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, somebody made a comment, Bander, maybe it was you. I can't, Mike. One of you guys said something about the desire to learn needs to be there, right?
Yeah,
that was Mike.
When you want it, and this is, sometimes we try to get into standardized testing, and sometimes we try to force these kids into paths too early, and sometimes like we've got to get. And yes, all those things kind of make sense when you start thinking about them, but then we got to have a path for students that can wander and bang off the walls and figure some things out, make a bunch of mistakes. In today's system, if you make one mistake, you lose all scholarship money, and it's as expensive as college is now. Chances are you're not going to go, right? So. We got to have some systems where they can try some things out and still bang against the walls and do that. And then be able to go towards those passions, right? Figure out some of those things that they get. I didn't find my career till I was 30. And even then it probably took me another 10 years, like after that. And then maybe at 50, I'm like finding it, Yeah. And the system has to kind of allow for some of that. If we get too standardized on this thing, in the state of Nebraska, all high school students are graded or not graded. It's not the right word, but we use the ACT as the standardized test now. Yeah, no, right on, right now. It's got some value. Don't get me wrong. It does some things, but
It does
if you
have
run
some
out of
value for
TP,
some
it
of
has
the
some
audience.
value.
Yeah, I agree.
But that being said, we teach to the ACT. And we teach because we're so afraid of this child left behind thing. We teach to it at all cost, like all cost. And so there's no time for the students to do anything outside of that, to explore. I mean, schools now are just starting to think, hey, like what if we offered some classes in communication and podcasting? That's awesome. Give some students a chance to get on a microphone and have some influence. So we got to be really, really careful with, Chris, there you are. We got to be really
trying things here.
No, I like it.
I just wanted to show
We're
the
in
Facebook
Brady
group.
Bunch mode. Awesome.
No, it took me about the desire to learn. It took me up until after I finished my bachelor's to actually want to learn.
Yeah.
And about 6 months into my master's, I looked at the cost per class and I realized, I really want to learn, because this is a lot of money every single hour that I don't pay attention.
Correct.
So it took that long for me to finally want to learn, and I got so much out of that last year of school because I finally got to the point.
Was it just the money thing, Andrew, that sent you? Or
It-
what was that spark?
It was a bit realizing how expensive it was, but it was also the challenge of it. Like my bachelor's was music business, and a lot of it was music theory, which was really exciting for me because I love music. But it wasn't terribly challenging. When I went into finance, I had to work my butt off, and I had groups that I would study with, and we would all bang our head against the whiteboard until that information was burned into our brains. And it was the camaraderie there, we're all going through the same crap at the same time. We all hate this. None of us understand it, but we're going to figure it out, that made it that much more enjoyable. So it was a mixture of the money, being challenged, and having a group to play off of to overcome those hurdles. So I think that goes back to what you were saying earlier about the one-on-one meetings with somebody else where they would train together and they have the ability to overcome those obstacles.
But it sounds like you had a group, right? I mean, what do podcasters? Oh, there you go. There's the alert. Came in all close. Wow, that's late.
School closed,
Mike.
That's it.
That's late. Although everybody
Yeah.
knew this was coming, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
They all knew. Everybody was prepared. The kids were like,
I'm reasonably certain that's why my wife was able to go into work and go, yes, in the schedule.
yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The Bandrew, the community that you felt, I bet, has also was an influence on that for the first time you were in a group that the whole group cared. And all of a sudden you have a podcast community. I think it's the same kind of thing. Like, that's why we come and show up on a Sunday night, talk about these things, just because we're all interested, right? You know?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
Yeah. Surrounding yourself. I've tried to do that with podcasting for the last, I think probably since we started 16 years ago. And it's not finding the perfect people. It's the people that you mesh with who also want to learn. I can't work and teach anybody that already knows everything. If you already know everything, what are we creating exactly?
Right.
And that kind of goes back to Bandra's comment about the dude that's at work that nobody can work with and or interact with because he can't be shown anything new at all that is either appreciated, or just because it's you, he doesn't appreciate it. That is terribly frustrating.
Everybody's got one of those friends, right?
Yeah,
everybody has one of those friends.
I also wanted your college story reminded me of a story that I heard in college in 1990. And it was the story of James Cameron and James Cameron's rise to success. And to smash it all together, essentially James Cameron was going to buy Big Macs, and he would buy two because he had a coupon for a free one when he would buy one. And then he would figure out his budget. And so he took his budget and the fact that he had to write 2 movies, and then he divided all of that by how many pages he had to write daily to get it done by the deadline, and how much money he needed to somehow find and spend during that time to keep himself alive. And I remember it's much more involved, and we'll try and find it on the internet and maybe post that. But the story of him doing that, and then his meteoric rise inside of that mid 80s into the 90s and then on, is what inspired me inside of college to get my shit together. I don't know why, but as I got through high school and then into college, my learning curve and that ability to want to learn that Bandrew was talking about, I absolutely had that. I didn't have that when I got into high school, and every year in high school, everything elevated and kept getting better. And then I got into college, and then it escalated even further. I think probably because of that interest in interpreting and what words meant and how to grab the core concepts and pieces of Latin inside of words and figure out how to interpret them. And so that beautiful mind moment that I had during college was based on that story. And it's one of my favorite stories from a filmmaker I really do appreciate.
Yeah, I was most inspired by the new. I'm not going to say it. Oh,
The
no.
new Tool album.
I can't say it.
Say it, Chris.
No.
Say it.
You, sir, need. I've watched too much Nick DiPaolo. He has this funny. I don't know if you guys watch his. It's a podcast / YouTube channel. Nick DiPaolo, pretty crazy. He leans very right, so he curses like it. I find it funny. It just from a comedic point of view, nothing to do with politics at all. But he has all these funny sound clips. He's got like an iPad there where he's hitting sound clips and stuff. One of them is Penn Jillette saying, "You, sir, need to shut the up." But he actually says it. Anyway.
Have you guys delved into the content that Penn and Gillette make and have made over the years? Because it's pretty amazing.
I've only seen a few clips that people recommend me, and I'm always really interested in it and surprised with how well constructed it is. But for some reason, I never go back and look at the back catalog. It's just, hey, you need to watch this. Okay, wow, that was great. Moving on.
Yeah, there are some terrific human learning moments inside of just about everything that they make. And the one that's got me absolutely enamored, I have to be careful because it goes down an instant rabbit hole, is the Fool Us thing that they do in Vegas. The reels of that are, I'm like, I don't have the words. My father was a musician, a close-up magician for most of his life until his thumbs got too bad with arthritis. And I always marveled at it, and it's something I never picked up. And so to watch that on a stage where you can then watch people that are at not only the top of their craft, but at the top end of the craft, dishing out top end craft. It's something to behold. But the most important moment is the end, where Penn it's Penn because obviously Gillette's not talking, but it's Penn delivering the how it was done, but it's done in code, so that when like you and I would hear it and we can kind of go, huh? But there's this commonsensical language that the magicians share, so that they understand that, oh yes, we know how you did it. The guys either go, oh, but then the ones where they fool them, those are the amazing ones, because their track record and history and knowledge base is so tremendous and high level that when they are fooled, it is amazing to watch on screen.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them, and I was amazed as well. The one Asian dude was sick. So Ben from the Travel Man podcast wants to know what mics we're using. I'm using an Aventone CV12. Bandrew?
I am using the Telefunken TF47.
Mike?
I have the gorgeous, one of many here in the studio, PR40.
I am the peasant with the ATR 2100.
Which
does that have an X at the end of it?
No.
Oh, you really are a peasant. Shame.
Oh!
I'm kidding. You sound wonderful.
Be gone.
You sound excellent as always.
You sound tremendous. And again, that's about voice. I think you guys can all attest, especially with how many microphones. Well, never mind. Bender's got more than anybody on earth. But you can attest that the voice has to match a microphone for it to be the mic. So going and grabbing a great mic for podcasting doesn't mean that it's going to be a great podcasting mic for you.
Right. See?
And
Ben says it sounds great.
That is exactly why I have never tested out a great sounding microphone, because the sound source just isn't there.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Says he who bought a U87. Love it.
What's the most expensive one you got?
This guy right here.
Yeah, he was grabbing it before I even asked the question.
I mentioned it.
Because Chris mentioned it. It's
smart. Okay.
The U87 AI.
Okay.
It's a beautiful mic.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
No, that's like.
I've wanted to upgrade to something different, but I've got this average guy brand that I think would be like,
Kristen, this deal on Yetis if you need one.
I started on a Yeti.
Nothing wrong with Yetis, guys.
Started on one. It's too loud for my room down here.
Don't forget
Yes.
there's still
They're
a few
half
Yetis
price.
on the shelf. Okay.
I could always get one at Best Buy if I need it.
Where did you get that? Where did you get that image?
These are David Hooper's.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Pod Hub, interracial, mature, hairy, amateur, bondage.
Bondage.
Here's
And if
your
you ever
COVID-19
need to buy a Yeti, most of the time you'll get a free video game with it. Or if you buy a video game, you get a free Yeti.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the big podcast one on
It's been
poor
so
guy
long
couldn't get
since the game. That's amazing.
I do watch this guy on a cigar podcast. He's more of a YouTuber than he is a podcaster, but he uses a Yeti, and the way he's got it set up and the way he uses it actually sounds pretty good. And he's got a position in the camera view so it looks, because that thing looks way better than it is. And so he's got it. Yeah, he's got it positioned just right. And I'm always shocked. I'm always like, wow, he must have some really good sound treatment in that room to make that thing work that way. So
the broadcaster's a good mic, by the way. Yeah.
Agreed. I constantly say the Yeti's not a bad mic. It's just misused far too often.
Yeah. It's easy to misuse it. It's
The
easy.
design makes you want to speak into the
Yes.
top of it or speak into the back of it or set it on your table 5 feet away from you.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Or not have it correctly set, not have the right vocal tone, not speak into it correctly, I mean, there's just so many things. And it was so sensitive. I mean, it would down here, I could hear a cricket fart outside, and it was like, oh, okay. Like, this isn't going to work here in my setup. I was picking up the TV, in my neighbor's house, and it just wouldn't work.
Do you have to use a little bit of de-reverb on the cricket farts? Anything? Any
No,
special
straight. I like them with a little bass in them.
Do you widen the stereo image a little bit on the fart to make it a little more impact the listener a little more?
It doesn't quite have the semblance that you're looking for.
Are any of you AES members?
No.
Audio? Okay. Because today I was just going through and I found an article that I think is going to be interesting to all of you. It's titled, How Far Do Microphones Reach? A Comparison Between Dynamic and Condenser Microphones. And it's to determine if condensers and dynamics really have a different fall off the farther you get away from it. And that's one of the main things that people say. Oh, condensers pick up less room noise. Yeah. They pick up less noise farther away. But do they really?
Dynamics pick up less, right?
Yeah. That's what I meant, yeah.
My ears for those two mics between this one and that one, those two mics, totally. Like
absolutely.
Absolutely. In a second. My wife can be on the other side of the wall just screaming and you barely hear it. And that Yeti. Did you hear it? She's screaming right now.
Screaming, yeah. Mm-hmm. Help me out, please.
Wait, she laughs loud. She has a very loud laugh, so it's easy.
You should have various Blue Yetis set up throughout the house and wired into your studio.
Well, I used to have it. It used to sit up here on my shelf for about 2.5 years after I moved. Mike Phillips kind of early on came on as like, hey, if you're just looking for a regular mic, go to 2100, and there it is. Yeah, same deal.
Oh,
Andrew,
dude.
yeah, I had the
dude. That's a little spooky, dude. You got some nice lighting going on there.
So I sold it to a gamer. So I was like, I put it on Craigslist locally, and I was like, hey, $50, and they're like, oh yeah, I'll take it. And a gamer, he was a gamer.
Andrew, by the way, someone else on social media was like, hey, Doran, while everyone's sort of isolating themselves at home, watch some movies, watch some horror movies. And Shaun of the Dead is the best horror movie ever made. And I was like, Andrew, it wasn't you though, but
definitely one of them. It's, I would classify it as a horror comedy, and it's one of the greatest horror comedy movies ever made.
Right.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Daniel in the channel's talking about Heil microphones, and I wasn't at Podfest, so I don't know what was showcased. The newest one I've got is the PR77D.
And I didn't know they had a new mic, Daniel. I didn't know that.
Well, I'm super curious to know if there's something even newer. Do you know what it looks like at all?
Oh, is it the PR37?
I'm not sure.
Look up the Heil PR37. That's the Heil Sound introduces the PR37 vocal mic.
What?
Looks like a handheld dynamic.
Oh yeah. All right. I like the looks of it. All black,
Not sure that's
silver ring.
What's retail? Is it going to compete in that $100 range?
$269.
Oh no, not in that $100.
Yeah.
No.
No, this is my guess is that this will extend past what their original 35 market was.
the eldest bro, Kappa. That's what that means, right? Kappa, eldest bro, I think. Heil only makes dynamics?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I was right.
Another
with the
mic.
Kappa.
No, that was just packaging.
That was that one. Don't throw that.
That was the U87. He threw it into the hall.
Wow.
You know what we need to
It was only a
recreate
model.
that scene from The
Demo.
Office
Demo mic.
where
Ah,
they're
they sent it to
bashing
you.
the
Yeah.
printer. There you go.
Gents, I'm gonna run. Great hanging
All
out with
right.
you guys tonight. Thanks
All right.
for
Yes.
thanks for
Yeah,
letting
thanks so much
thanks
for
for
your
letting
time.
the peasant be a part
Thank
of
you,
the,
Jim.
Jim,
Jim is
you're
awesome
above
hanging
us.
out, bro.
You're above us. We're not worthy.
We're not
We're
worthy.
not
Jim
worthy.
Collison.
I bow to you.
Kidding.
I bow to you. You guys have a great evening. Thanks.
You too,
Thanks,
Jim.
Chris.
Great chatting
Thanks for
with
letting me
you.
in. Yeah,
All right,
we'll see you
brother.
guys.
Take
Take
care,
care.
Jim. See you, man. Oh yeah. Oh man, I'm about done myself. How you guys feeling?
Stick a fork in me. I'm done too.
Right? Yeah. So thank you everyone for coming and hanging out in the Podcasters Lounge. Definitely join the Facebook group, but don't promote yourself and don't promote your stuff. Don't promote because you will be banned immediately. It's just a place to hang out and chill and make fun of Ralph M. Rivera.
Which
And
have you guys already done that today, or do we need a couple of $1,000 jokes?
oh, you know,
I don't think
let's-
we have.
Yeah, I mean Ralph
Tee it up
takes a
there,
beating,
Chris.
but you know, his home life is none of my business. All right. Well, thank you, Bandrew. Thank you, Mike Wilkerson. Oh,
Thank you
God.
for letting me on, Chris. It's always fun chatting and hanging out.
Oh, dude, you guys are awesome. Thank you. And thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you in the Facebook group. And one more quick thing.